1960, what a year in sports. Bill Mazeroski made history in Game 7 of the World Series. Arnold Palmer won his first and only U.S. Open championship, and the world first heard the name Cassius Clay at the Rome Olympics. Also in that historic year, New Mexico State University football program from Las Cruces made a short trip to El Paso to play in their second straight Sun Bowl. I had the great pleasure of being one of the men on the field that day as we defeated Utah State by a score of 20-13. Since then, we both have endured a lot of lean years. The boys from Logan snapped their streak a few years back, but it took us much longer.
Rogers rolling right, scanning the field. He fires. Connor Kramer, touchdown, New Mexico State. For the first time in 57 years, New Mexico State will bowl.
Now, both of us have arrived in Tucson for the 2017 Arizona Bowl. Utah State has had a deserving season as well. These Aggies are on a roll.
Caught, touchdown, intercepted, Davis has it, his third pick of the game. Touchdown, Aggies.
History will be made tonight. Once again, it's Aggies versus Aggies for a bowl crown.
Welcome to beautiful and scenic Tucson, Arizona, the old Pueblo. It is time for college football. You're watching the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl on CBS Sports Network. This is Arizona Stadium on the U of A campus in Tucson. Today, host to a college football bowl game, matching up New Mexico State of the Sun Belt Conference against Utah State of the Mountain West. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Tucson. So great to have with us Dave Ryan alongside Corey Chavis, former star NFL defensive back, joined throughout the broadcast field level by Melanie Collins as well. And Shay, we've got a lot of Aggies to talk about here. New Mexico State is about to end the longest bowler streak in the FBS in 57 years. Utah State is back in bowl business, sixth time in 7 years.
Well, Utah State, Dave, it's been about consistency under Matt Wells throughout his tenure. They're a team you kind of know what to expect. Good defense, an exciting offense. On the other side, you didn't really know whether or not New Mexico State could get over the hump. 4-6 just a couple of weeks back. Back-to-back 22-17 wins for Doug Martin. What a story it's been, like you said, for the Aggies.
Let's talk about the Aggies from Logan first and Matt Wells' success now in his fifth year. Bowl games in his first 3 years, highlighted by a 9-win and a 10-win season, including a spot in the Mountain West Championship game. 2013 Mountain West Coach of the Year, but last season they struggled, 3-9. This year, they're back in business with 6 wins. They've got a really good defensive back in Jalen Davis, an All-American.
An All-American, a 4-year player for this team and a program changer. Watch the instincts here. Now he's playing inside at nickelback, and you can see reacting to tips and overthrows, always important for a defensive back. And if you're going to be somebody who makes house calls, I know you love those, Dave, the house calls, here you go. If you get an opportunity, can you catch it? He does that. He finishes almost like a running back with the ball in his hands.
Now let's talk about the Aggies from Las Cruces. And imagine what a day this is for New Mexico State fans. They've waited so long. Their head coach, Doug Martin, an amazing job in getting that program going past 15 years. Before this year, they averaged 2.6 wins a year, but this year, air raid Aggie offense has been so effective with Tyler Rogers, their quarterback. The defense has lived in the opposing backfield with 42 sacks, and yes, the long streak is finally over, and they've got a stud wide receiver in Jaleel Scott.
I mean, a receiver that's going to the Senior Bowl. It lays credence to what he's been able to do. Now watch him go up over these defensive backs. He's a nightmare in the red zone, and Tyler Rogers looks for him on third down. You're going to see it come up. How will the Aggies defend this Aggie? Because he's a horse.
The coach, Doug Martin, rewarded impressive turnaround of the Aggie program, a 3-year contract extension. He told us this week nothing will ever top beating South Alabama at the end of the game in the regular season finale, seeing his fans storm the field, being bowl eligible for the first time in 57 years. Matt Wells, Utah State's head coach, joined field level now by Melanie Collins.
Thank you, Dave. Well, Coach, your program has been to a bowl game in 6 out of the last 7 years, but as you told us yesterday, only 10 guys on this roster have experience in a bowl game, that last one in 2015. So what's the mindset of your team as we get set up for kick?
I think it's just youthful enthusiasm. I mean, the only 10 guys that were on that bowl team 2 years ago, a lot of turnover, and that's not all that bad.
Well, you're facing a tough air raid offense today against New Mexico State. What will be the key to containing that?
Well, first of all, you got to get pressure on Rogers. It's strength on strength, the strength of our defensive secondary and the strength of their offensive wide receiver core.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Mel, Coach Wells, thank you. A perfect day for college football here in Tucson. Couldn't be better. There's no rain in the forecast. 83 degrees at kickoff and a very slight breeze. Utah State has won the toss, electing to defer to the second half. Jay, these are old WAC rivals, and they played a lot in the past. In their Big West days, well, that was a college football conference, Western Athletic Conference as well, and yes, the All-Aggie Bowl game back in 1960. In El Paso, won by New Mexico State. Dominic Eberle, sophomore from Nuremberg, Germany, will kick off. And the third Arizona Bowl is underway. The kickoff goes out of bounds, though, and that'll be a penalty against the kicking team and bring the ball out to the 35. Good field position early in this one for Utah State. New Mexico State have the rock first.
Free kick out of bounds by the kicking team. The ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Chick-fil-A starting lineup. In this game today, Rogers, quarterback for New Mexico State. Senior from Peoria, Arizona. Third-team All-Sun Belt pick this year. Huge season, second in the nation in completions per game at 29. Only behind Washington State's Luke Falk. He is having a great year. On first down, he throws. Short gain on first down.
One player that I think very interesting to watch today is Sage Dox-Tatter. Can you believe this, Dave? He's a vegetarian. And I know you're a pescatarian, right? Or you've tried to move over.
We're trying to in the Ryan household right now.
Well, 343 pounds and got an injury, but it's a pretty big injury too, because I think Cameron Haney was going to be or is going to be a big factor in this game.
Sophomore from Los Angeles, 5'11", 180, 31 tackles this year for Cameron Haney. Depending on the defensive scheme, he and Jalen Davis will get a lot of time at corner and nickel as well.
You're exactly right, Dave. And he had, when you lost Jalen Davis in the UNLV game, he came in and played the nickel and did an outstanding job in that game.
Early injury for the Aggies from Logan, and Haney has helped off. Our head coach Matt Wells. Great meeting with the coach, his coordinators and players yesterday at their team hotel. He said fantastic week of practice, focused, ready to go. In the first bowl game in 2 years. Last time out they lost to Akron in the famous Potato Bowl in Boise. After Huntley had the short gain on first down. Second here, Larry Rose the third on the reception. And a big pickup for New Mexico State into Utah State territory. A first down, gain of 21 to Larry Rose the third, who's got 50 catches this year, a weapon out of the backfield. First down. Rose the third, carries, gets popped. Gage Ferguson on the tackle for Utah State. Junior from Mendon, Utah. We met Gage yesterday, impressive young man. He's got a great bowl beard going. It rivals any NHL playoff beard I've ever seen. Rose the third on the carry and runs into trouble.
Well, one important factor in the defense today for Utah State is going to be Jamarcus Ingram. Now, he's only a freshman, but he's 6'1", and he's actually matched up down here at the bottom of the screen right here against Jaleel Scott, their outstanding receiver.
Tackle by Unga a moment ago. And third down. Rodgers, the gunslinger, throws. Jonathan Boone catches. And he's to the 30-yard line inside the 30 to the 29. Gain of 12. First down for New Mexico State. Boone lost the helmet. We'll have to leave the field for one play for the Aggies from Las Cruces. Junior from Orlando, Florida. On first down. Carry there for Jason Huntley, the sophomore from the Dallas Metroplex. Gain of 4 for Huntley. The 1-2 punch that Rose the third and Huntley offer will be tough to defend, I believe, because they're such great receivers, Jake.
I think you're exactly right, Dave. And to your point, there's Huntley aligned at the receiver position up here at the top. They'll motion him back into the backfield in these situations.
Play fake. And a little flea flicker, and then the pass goes into the back of an offensive lineman. And it's on the field for an incomplete pass for New Mexico State. Isaac McLean, a right tackle, had that one go off the legs as Rodgers was under a lot of pressure.
Well, that was one of the similar concepts that Rose got loose on early. They motioned Huntley out and run the screen back. Now here's third down, and they're going to have Huntley down here in the slot. They're 7th in the country on third downs. He's to the side of Jaleel Scott.
Rodgers, pressure from Wildman. Rodgers can run it. We got 7 touchdown runs this year. He's hit hard. Flags fly at the 21. Let's see. It's a gain of 4. He's shy of the marker, but the flag down will give them an automatic first down. Now we have to see if targeting might have been involved as well. We have a Conference USA crew here today in Tucson. Rodgers went into the slide, gave himself up, then becomes defenseless. Now let's see how the officials saw that field level.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness with targeting. Defense. Previous play is under review.
That has to be reviewed. Let's take a look.
Well, it looks like it was Adewale, Adeoye. And you're going to see him lead into that area with the crown of his helmet. And because he was beginning to slide, Dave, he was defenseless, and that fits the definition, and I believe this targeting call will stand, and that's unfortunate, but at least he won't have to.
After review, there's no foul for targeting.
Wow.
The half the distance penalty for UNR will be enforced. Automatic first down.
15-yard penalty, as we discussed, but no targeting for Adewale Adeoye, a junior from St. Louis at 6'3", 270. He's one of the top defensive players for Utah State. That's good news for the Aggies from Logan.
Well, it is, and I was just talking with the replay officials before the game that administer that, and one of the things that they told me was that a lot of times there would never be a situation where they would reverse it unless there was something in particular that forced them to change that call. So apparently it didn't feel like it went to the helmet.
First and 10 from the 11th. Rose the third carries off left tackle. Adeoye on the stop for Utah State. Today's Red Zone being brought to you by Verizon. Aggies from Utah State glad Adeoye did not get ejected a moment ago. Makes a big play. Red zone, look out for Scott here, right?
Yeah, and he's in the slot, and that's an unfamiliar position for him.
16 in white. There's the fade right on cue. It's incomplete. Into double coverage. Deontay Fortenberry had a hand on that for Utah State. Scott, as we talked about, top of the broadcast, a major weapon. First team All-Sun Belt Conference pick.
And it's interesting in that they've got Jalen Davis now, who we talked about in the open. He's still playing inside at nickel in this third down, all-important third down right here. So he won't be matched up against Scott. It'll be interesting to see if they double Scott on the other side, because he's all by himself down here.
The 11th play of the drive. Slant. That's down to about the 6-yard line. On the reception by O.J. Clark. 5'7", 163-pound diminutive Dynamo back in the lineup for New Mexico State after missing their regular season finale, South Alabama, with a separated shoulder. Field goal time here for the Aggies.
Well, that's a win for Utah State. You get in the red zone and you hold them to 3. A team that's averaging 29.6 points a game, and you got to feel good if your defensive coordinator Frank Spaziani.
Dylan Brown from 22. He's got it, and we have our first points of the 2017 Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl. The Aggies from Las Cruces have a lead on Utah State. But you heard that from some of the guys yesterday. That was the highlight of the week for them. Let's take a look at our Crest Insurance keys to the game, Corey.
Well, I think one key has already kind of taken shape, and that's be two-dimensional, and that's Jason Huntley, Larry Rose. You don't want to be one-dimensional and just throw the ball. They've gotten them involved in the screen game early. Special attention on special teams. They've got to be alert for it. Block punts, block kicks, and trick plays for this New Mexico State defense.
Parker Davidson, junior from Plano, Texas. The Dallas area kicks off for New Mexico State. Lawan Hunt and Savon Scarver deep to receive for Utah State. After a 12-play, 59-yard drive, resulted in an Aggie field goal. Savon Scarver from inside his 5. Has a lane, has some speed. Scarver, sideline, sheds a tackler. Here he goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Utah State. How about that? No flags.
Well, we just talked about being special on special teams, special attention. You have to pay attention to Scarver, a 21.5 200-meter guy at Centennial High School, right down the road in Nevada. Also ran a 37.8 in the 300-meter hurdles. He's got big league speed, and he's shown it on a couple of occasions this season. You saw it again.
Flags fly here, Che, before the PAT. And Dominic Eberle. He's had a great year, first team All Mountain West kicker in 2017.
Illegal substitution. Defense. The penalty's declined.
I guess nowadays we need to say special attention because they have penalties on special teams. They've given up a touchdown, and we knew special teams would be a factor.
Matt Wells talked for about 15 minutes with it yesterday as Eberle knocks through the PAT about the special teams and how important they were going to be. Utah State, James, blocked 4 punts this year. They got a kickoff return to the house here today.
And it was all about Scarver. It was time for him to get one to the house. He does it. And you want to show some love? There's Jordan giving it.
Home brings the jungle to CBS Sports Network's weekday lineup when the king of smack rings in the new year with top-notch guests and big-time takes. Tackling the biggest stories in the world of sports, it's the Jim Rome Show on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Well, Dave, what they want to do is basically fence most of the New Mexico State coverage team in right here. And then at that point, you have your fullback and some of your other guys leading outside. Your center and fullback, they lead outside, and you're going to see them kick out. They get a hat on a hat, and that was just Scarver and the kicker, and that's a mismatch. And at this point, once he breaks the final tackle, I believe that might have been a Bradley, he's able to just use that speed that we talked about to get it in the house. And Scarver, they've been waiting, kind of like what they saw against UNLV, for that big play potential.
First career kickoff return for a touchdown for Scarver, and the first for Utah State since 2015 in a Mountain West game against Nevada. How about that? Eberle kicks off for Utah State. Huntley, the feature return man for the Aggies from Las Cruces. Jason Huntley, 1 yard deep in his end zone. Ventures out. Look at this run back. Here goes Huntley. We're going to have back-to-back kickoff returns for touchdowns in the Arizona Bowl. Can you believe this? No flags. 100 yards on the return for Jason Huntley. Incredible.
Oh, man, you got to love it.
Back-to-back kickoff return for a touchdown, Corey. How about it?
We always talk about being special on special teams. Well, Huntley says, guess what? It's Jason's special day. And when he gets in the open field, it's all about the finish. The track star, Huntley, and teammate.
How about that from Jason Huntley? Let's flashback, Jay. 1960, Sun Bowl in El Paso. Utah State, Skyline Conference back then, 10-0 New Mexico State out of the Border Conference. The Aggies scored first in the game. The Tom Larshide rushing touchdown. New Mexico State came roaring back. Running back Bob Gator's 32-yard rushing TD. New Mexico State will win 2013. Now back in the day, these are the shows you saw on CBS. Gunsmoke. Hey, I grew up watching Gunsmoke with Desi Arnett.
I know you were watching Alfred Hitchcock's
Scary and great. And hey, we all love a twist. I still do. Chubby Checker.
You try to do it a little bit.
I'm a pretty good dancer.
Yes, you are. I have to admit.
For an old guy.
You're not old.
So much history today for New Mexico State. And Jave, I've called college football for 21 years on national TV. I have never seen back-to-back kickoff returns for a touchdown.
Well, I'm glad. Hey, let's be careful. Here we go again. You've got to kick off after you score. And Scarver says, kick it to me again.
Not this time. Directional kick. Scarver's got it though on a bounce. And he's bounced around inside the 20 and down he goes.
Me, you, and Melanie met with Coach Wells yesterday, and they talked about Aaron Vaughn. So they know they've got to get a double team on him. So check this out. They're going to double the L4. He's playing the L4 position. That's 4 men in. They take him out, and then if everybody else gets a hat on a hat, that allows them to get one of their best playmakers in the open field, Huntley. He did this to ASU in the receiving game. And again, Aaron Vaughn's one of their top kickoff cover guys. So you game plan to get kickoff cover guys out of the mix as well.
Finally, first play from scrimmage for Utah State. Here's Jordan Love, their freshman quarterback, to Hunt. Juan Hunt has got the catch. And a good pickup for the Aggies from Logan. Chick-fil-A starting lineup. For Utah State, QB redshirt freshman Jordan Love from Bakersfield, California, took over the job from senior Kent Myers. 7 games into the season, 3-2 as a starter. As Coach Matt Wells told us yesterday, Love a tireless worker, relentless in the film room, cool customer under pressure, versatile, dual threat QB. A really effective weapon for Utah State. He's got to be good to replace one of the record-setting quarterbacks in Aggie history in Kent Myers.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 52. First down.
That's the right tackle, Sean Taylor. And Rodney Burnett, 30th year, our referee today. Conference USA crew will back up Utah State. So the right tackle, redshirt junior from California, JC transfer, Laney College. Sean Taylor cost his team some yardage. And Matt Wells and the Aggies from Logan back to the 14. I'm going to call this 1st and 14. Nope, we'll get that right now. It is 1st and 10. Shane Cruz ready, we're ready. Off the penalty. Pump fake. Love. Looking for Dax Raymond. His big tight end on that seam route. And at 45, incomplete. A flag is down again.
Yeah, that's in the area of holding outside.
Holding, defense, number 4. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's the Marcus Owens corner for New Mexico State.
When they're running a double move, and you're going to see him break, and it was a good double move by Ronquavian Tarver. And once he gets into that first plant out of the slant fake, Owens just tackles him. And I don't know if that's a bad penalty. You don't want to give up a touchdown, an easy touchdown.
Automatic first down. Love keeping. Kind of goes backwards there for a couple steps, and a flag flies late. Ron LaForce newcomer of the year in the Sun Belt Conference, involved in the contact, a lot of pursuit against Jordan Love, who took a odd step
After
there.
the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit out of bounds by the defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It is Ron LaForce getting too aggressive. Automatic first down.
Well, you're by the sidelines, and Lomax is giving some help, and I don't know. I mean,
I agree.
well, as long as you agree, it's okay.
Hey, ball carrier near the sideline, leave him alone. A lot of penalties here. Love throwing. Dangerous pass. That one brought in. Drain right on the tackle, gain of 2.
Well, I was interested to see Rob Castaneda. I think he's one of those linemen who likes to get nasty a little bit inside, and I love the grit he plays with.
On second and a short. Lawad Hunt off left tackle. Yama Quaker. The stop for New Mexico State after the gain of 2, third down. Love and the Aggies go fast. Some pressure on Love. It's overthrown. Owens on coverage. No penalty flag coming there. Braylon Roberts, intended receiver for Utah State. Fourth down.
Well, you know they're going to bring it snap to snap. Now you see Hanks get his hands up. You also had a little bit of a twist game where he's coming inside and the defensive end goes outside. So they're going to move around, and for Love, that's going to be key today. How does he handle those blitz packages or pressure packages on third down?
Aaron Dalton will punt. Delaire Rose at third here. Nice pressure from Jackson. Rose at third, a real weapon. Lets this one go into the end zone for a touchback. And the Aggies from New Mexico State will get it back in a very exciting first quarter. 54-yard punt for Aaron Dalton from Utah State.
We have so far, but how about this atmosphere? I have to ask you about this crowd. How pleased are you with the turnout?
Oh, I'm amazed. We, our hope is to sell the game out. Our first year we sold 20,000 tickets. The second year we sold about 34,000. This year we have over 40,000 roaring fans in the stands, so it's just amazing.
What is it about the Arizona Bowl that made Nova Home Loans want to sponsor it?
Well, I tell you what, we haven't had a bowl game in the hometown I grew up in for over 20 years, so when they approached me on this, it was kind of a no-brainer for me, especially when we were able to negotiate that 100% of the net proceeds go back to charities. So we're really trying to change the tradition of bowl games and making this really a community event all week long. And when you look at the stands and the 40,000 roaring fans, I mean, this is really what bowl games are all about.
Absolutely. Thanks for the time, John.
Thank you.
Guys.
Melody, thanks so much. CBS Sports Network, so proud to broadcast the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl for the first time in network history today. And what a start we've had. New Mexico State, the ball here. Rose the third, the cutback. For Rose the third, one of the team captains. Spoke with Larry yesterday. He could not, Corey, really express himself as to how happy the Aggies from New Mexico State are to be bowling again. It means so much to these kids. Second down, Rogers. Deep ball, overthrows Rose the third on the wheel route. And we'll see him line up in the slot as well. Great receiving running back. He and Huntley have combined for so many catches this year. Well,
this is one where you've got to put a little bit more touch if you're Tyler Rogers, because you've got a matchup that's favorable against Timmy Bennett. And you've got Rose the third, who's going to be able to outpace him in any of those one-on-one matchups.
Third down, Rogers passing to his tight end Roberts. Big Bryce Roberts, 9th catch of the year. 270-pound freshman from Oklahoma, gain of 15.
Well, they didn't even cover him. I think they're bringing some type of pressure concept, and they left Roberts uncovered. And if you're a senior like Rogers, you'll hit that every time.
Chase Christiansen Junior from Stansbury, Utah. 6'1", 230, shaking up for Utah State. He's had a good season, 63 tackles. Inside linebacker spot for the Aggies. Hope he's okay. First down for New Mexico State. Big target Roberts had a touchdown catch against Georgia Southern early this year for the Aggies in Sun Belt Conference play. First down here. Play fake. Pressure. Rogers on the move, then throws. They're going in the vicinity. Gets out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, here's another example of just how much upfield penetration. You see Tae chasing him all the way outside the pocket and making sure that he gets rid of it. And actually, I think that was Oye that was chasing him down.
Yeah, junior from St. Louis. Effective today for Utah State. Second down. Huntley has a kickoff return for a touchdown already today. Looks for the edge and more room. And shoved out of bounds by Dallin Levitt, the boundary safety for Utah State. Gain of 5. And third down on the way for New Mexico State.
This is where they've excelled all year, Dave. On third down, you can see Utah State trying to rotate in. They know this is New Mexico State's money down. 7th in the country on this down.
Third down. Rogers over the middle. Huntley has the catch. He's just shy of midfield. Needs a couple for the first down. And we'll see what Doug Martin has in mind here. Gain of 3. 4th and short.
They've only gone for it 10 times all year on 4th down, so not a surprise here that they will punt. But you have to be alert for the fake, and you have to always locate where Connor Kramer is at, because you can see, and he's a former quarterback, and he's actually a personal protector on this team. And there's Kramer right there. Here we go.
Peyton Theisler. The punter for New Mexico State. Fair caught by Jordan Nathan. True freshman for Utah State, 38-yard punt for Peyton Theisler, sophomore from Phoenix. Time now for the Inside Tracks, brought to you by Visit Tucson. I like these numbers for Jordan Love. These are deep stats.
Yeah, they are deep, and he likes to go deep, and these stats kind of justify that to a certain degree. And that's one of the best things that he brings to this football team, the ability to push the ball down the field. You haven't seen it yet, but at some point today, you'll see the touch he has as a deep ball thrower.
Only 2 or 3, 12 yards passing in the early going here for Utah State. On first down, passing here. Not a good pickup. Aaron Vaughn's and a long reverse touchdown run early against Air Force in the regular season finale for Utah State. That was a wild back and forth game won by the Falcons in Colorado Springs. Gain of 17, first down. Play fake. Love is throwing. Raymond the catch. And he gets belted right away. Jaden Wright, strong safety all over him, loss of 1. Questionable with a foot injury heading into the bowl game here. Senior from Louisville, Texas. Aggies of Las Cruces, some strong defense. As you look at their lineup here, Court.
Well, Malik Demby is going to be somebody you've got to factor in off the edge. And because they rotate so much, he's not even in on this down. That's how versatile New Mexico State's defense is.
Third and 11. Love some time. Raymond the catch. And hard shot on the marker. Dax Raymond the grab. Leon McQuaker. A huge game against Idaho. Second to last regular season game for New Mexico State. Had a career best 12 tackles. All over Dax Raymond there. Gain of 9. punt time for Utah State. We've seen 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, maybe a punt return too for Rose, who was dangerous. Fake. And the run, the ball's out. Either way, New Mexico State gets it. On a fake that didn't work. Shane Jackson has the recovery on the big hit.
Well, you're actually running a fake with Jacoby Wildman. Now, he's a defensive end, 265-pound sophomore, and Jackson says, no way, I'm not going for it. And you got to give special teams coach Oliver Sukup a lot of credit for what he's done. He knew, just like we did, that was one of the things we said in the open, be special attention. New Mexico State, they've been paying special attention.
Aggies of New Mexico State will get it right back here. And a pass play to Huntley, as we talked about, is such a weapon out of the backfield, along with Rose at third. It's a gain of 4 as they try to take advantage of the forced fumble and fumble recovery from Jackson. What a play on special teams against Wildman. Play fake to Rose at third. Sideline pass, trying to finally involve Jaleel Scott. And another target, only the second time he's thrown to him. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, give Jamarcus Ingram some credit. Now, he's saying, I can handle you one-on-one. Everybody's talking about Jalen Davis. Well, what about me? A walk-on who Gage Ferguson described as somebody who plays with extreme confidence, and he loves to jam receivers. He's a good matchup for Scott. That'll be something that we'll watch all day.
3 receivers to the right of Rogers. On third down, Rose the third. Gets by Levitt. Larry Rose the third, first down. The shake in the open field. Enough to get by one of the top defensive backs in the Mountain West, Dallin Levitt. Boundary safety, first down.
Well, Utah State has had problems getting shifty backs on the ground. Turn on the Colorado State film, Dalen Dawkins. What about the UNLV film? Lexington Thomas rolls much like those backs.
So first down. Rogers gonna take a shot. It's intercepted. Picked off by Woodward. David Woodward. The interception for Utah State. And the sudden change gives the Aggies from Logan the ball right back. There is a flag down. Redshirt freshman from
During the
Olympia,
return,
Washington.
illegal blocking the back by the defense, number 91. Penalties 10 yards, first down.
Woodward's first career start came against Air Force in Colorado Springs. End of the regular season, had a career best 13 tackles. That's his first career pick. Corey, couldn't have come at a better time for Utah State.
Well, there's a struggle for Rogers is when he gets locked in. Now, he's locked in on his slot receiver, doesn't recognize Woodward dropping into the middle of the field. You can see his eyes. He's locked in on that receiver, and basically he thinks Kramer has a one-on-one matchup with Ferguson, and Woodward says, no way. And that's the reason why Rogers has had high interception totals, gets locked in on his primary target too often.
First down for Utah State. Love on the keep. Knocked down by Leon McQuaker. So you talk about those pick numbers for Rogers. That's career interception number 55.
That's a lot.
That's a huge number. That is, by the way, the all-time New Mexico State record for picks. He's got 64 touchdown passes, one of the all-time greats in that category, number 2. And he'll leave Las Cruces as really a legend with his numbers he's compiled. Well, let's face it, you're the QB to bring the Aggies back to a bowl game for the first time in almost 60 years. You're going to go down in history, right?
No question.
Second down. Hunt carries through traffic. Needs the 29 for Utah State, first down. And the mark a little shy, it looks like, on a 4-yard pickup for Lawan Hunt, Utah State's top running back, heading into this game. Third down. Love keeps. Has a first down and then some. Fancy footwork, Jaden Wright, the tackle for New Mexico State. Out to the 39, first down now for Utah State. Gain of 11. As the game progresses, Chave, you see why Matt Wells made that call mid-season to go with Jordan Love over an experienced senior in Kent Myers.
He's a very talented quarterback, and I think it's not really the running ability that you make the change for, it's that arm.
First down, that ball might have been tipped. Raymond has the catch sideline. McQuaker can't find him. And finally, Terrell Hanks powers him out of bounds. A nice pickup for Dax Raymond. It's got to feel great for Dax. He had 4 drops against Air Force at the end of the regular season.
Yes, he did. And that was a game that, he makes some of those catches, they may win.
Gain of 19. Chain gang, keep up with these guys right now. As Ronquavian Tarver has a catch for Utah State. They just keep on trucking here. The Aggies are on the move.
And the thing you have to like about this, when you're going against New Mexico State, they're one of the top teams on third down defensively in the country. They're just like their offense. So you have to stay out of third down. And that's why these positive first down gains are good for Utah State.
On second down, Hunt, a move around McQuaker. Harrington trying to find him in space, cannot. Just got a piece of the shoes there of the Warren Hunt, but 11 more yards for Utah State first down.
Well, he's shifty, and he has a low balance and center of gravity, and McQuaker's a little bit longer and a little leggier in change of direction.
These Aggies are moving right now. Hunt is stopped this time. Dalton Harrington tops in the Sun Belt Conference, 125 tackles this year for the senior from Hallettsville, Texas. We had a great chat with Dalton yesterday. He could not wait to be on the field to break that long bowl streak for New Mexico State. Dalton's around the ball. Came to Las Cruces as a safety, he told us. Put on some pounds. He's 230 now and really one of the top players in their league. Second down. Bright, the feature back. Love keeps in some trouble. Hanks started. Harrington finishes. Dalton Harrington. And New Mexico State string out Jordan Love and the Yankees.
Well, again, I don't think that Love's strength is as a runner. And when you're trying to get away from Hanks, that was a pretty good job, but you're not going to outrun Harrington to the ball. And now you've got a third down and 14. I don't know that New Mexico State will bring pressure here. They'll probably play coverage, but they could. They've done it in the past.
Loss of 6 on the run there for Love.
And you can see they got about 6 or 7 up. Defensive coordinator Frank Spaziani, he wants you to make a decision quickly. He understands Love has had problems versus zone blitzes, and there goes the timeout.
Timeout, Utah State. Their first, 32nd.
You heard when we were talking on the phone the other day, I said the Wyoming game, me and Coach Spaziani were talking about that, and you were talking with him about that as well, along with Melanie. And he understands that this is still a freshman. And in some of these things that you have to go against for the first time, particularly this defense, you may see it on film, but when you have to go against it in live for the first time, it's tough.
They'll try to heat him up, move him from the pocket a lot. Jordan Love took over, as we talked about, in the last 5 games as starter. And it was really interesting and actually quite moving to talk with Matt Wells yesterday, because at the end of his career at Utah State as a quarterback, he was replaced by a freshman. Chucky Keaton was replaced by Myers when Myers was a freshman. And now Love replaces Myers. Just a better QB. He's going with the best guy. And now Myers is in a support role. And it's been great helping out Jordan Love learn the position. Very supportive. Third down here off the timeout.
Well, this is where you get measured at as a quarterback. On third down, it's third down and 14. Sometimes not taking the big risk and just getting points is a win. You do have one of the best field goal kickers in your conference.
Hunt, pass protection this time. Tarver, upended, makes a great catch. Owens on the tackle for New Mexico State. It is shy of the marker. They needed a 14.
That's the end of the first quarter.
This is outstanding body control by Tarver, who makes these types of catches all the time. And that's a great shot by our crew, just showing his athleticism and the break by Owens.
End of the first. Exciting, eventful, historic, because the Aggies from Las Cruces are bowling again. 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown. You're watching the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl on CBS Sports Network. The Tucson Basin, it is just a beautiful setting for college football. Let's take a look at the Go RVing road trip facts. 3rd all-time Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl in history. 2015, it was Nevada, Colorado State, which was the first time since 1979. Orange Bowl, Oklahoma, Nebraska. 2 teams not in a conference championship game, played in a bowl game. Air Force knocked off South Alabama for the Sun Belt last year. Year 3, here today on CBS Sports Network. Eberle begins the 2nd quarter with a field goal try. He's had a fantastic season. First team All-Mountain West. This from 35 yards out. Right down the middle. 20th career-made field goal, Dominic Eberle from Nuremberg, Germany, went to high school in the San Diego area. He's a good one. Woodward, the Pitt, first career interception for him. Got things going for Utah State. And Eberle and the Aggies from Logan cashed in 10-10.
And was able to jog it off. He will return to this game. And then linebackers coach Stacy Collins sat down with his linebackers and he said specifically to the outside backers, you have to set that edge. Then to the inside linebackers, tackle at the waist, but not so tight that we get bounced off of. So something to keep an eye on with Utah State's linebackers as the game goes on.
Yeah, Melanie, and I think that's the big reason why he's talking about that is because of the shiftiness of both Huntley and Rose III. You get them out in space. We've seen it today in the screen game. They're just tough to tackle, and that's been a problem, as we mentioned earlier, against some of the shiftier backs in the Mountain West. Well, Dalen Dawkins and Lexington Thomas, they had their way with this Utah State defense at times.
Eberle to kick off. Will get burned again if they can avoid it. Here's the return for Caldwell from New Mexico State. Where's Caldwell? Gets a rip.
So DJ Nelson.
He is everywhere, that guy. I love watching him play, DJ Nelson. 2 block punts this year. Got a punt return for a touchdown. Utah State has blocked 4 punts this season. That's 2nd best in the FBS entering action today.
He's pretty good in the classroom as well. One thing about him is when you get those types of guys, they can, like you said, they play a number of different roles for your team, and that's what they do with him.
Numbers for Rogers so far. Also a versatile running quarterback. He's carried it 70 times, 2nd on the team. Rose a 3rd. Has some room. Larry Rose a 3rd. First down and a lot more. Spins out of a tackle. Keeps on trucking. Lowers the shoulder inside the 35. Down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 40 for Rose the 3rd. This is physical, Chave.
Well, you just heard Melanie talk about what their linebackers coach, Stacy Collins, was asking them to do. Tackle the waist. He's so shifty.
They didn't do it there. Rose the 3rd carries again. Wally Oye, who did have that long pursuit tackle against Rose the 3rd a moment ago, has the stop, gain of 5. Rose trying to add to his 62 rushing yards. Oye says no. An update in the studio. Here's Brent Stover in New York.
Day of the Sun Bowl on CBS. Once down 28. Arizona State has cut the deficit in half. Manny Wilkins for Kyle Williams. It's now 38-24 NC State. 9 minutes to play, guys.
Hey, Brett, thanks so much. Exciting day in college football, bowl games all over the place, and some big games tonight, too. Exciting game here in Tucson. Rogers running on 3rd down as the pocket collapsed on him. Just shy of the 25. Aggies from Las Cruces need the 22 first down for a first down gain of 1. See what Doug Martin's got in mind here, Jake.
I think this might be a time where he goes for it. They've gotten some rhythm offensively. And you want to look to the side up here where you've got Scott and also you've got, I believe that's Huntley up at the top of the screen.
Aggies 4-10. Fourth down tries this year. Try here in the bowl game. On the slant. Gets down to about the 20-yard line. It's a first down. Jaleel Scott gets busy and gets the first.
Well, he leads their team in third down catches. And look at that physical catch through Wesley Bailey's excellent coverage. And that's why he's in the Reese's Senior Bowl. And you can catch the eye of Phil Savage and some of the directors down there because they understand what a big receiver can mean in the NFL. And you'll see Scott playing on Sundays.
First down, play fake to Rose III. Rogers steps up. Pocket collapsing, end zone. Rose III trying to bring it in, cannot. And it's incomplete.
He got a pretty good job by Tayi one-on-one with Rose, but he gets behind him, so there's a catch. And then guess what? You've got the help from Bailey. Now, Bailey just gave up the third down catch. He finishes through the hands of Rose III and says, no way.
Second down. That ball might have been tipped and incomplete. Looking there for Greg Hogan. All Sun Belt Conference pick last year. 25 catches. Justice Tayi had 7 tackles against Air Force, career best, and here he is getting a piece of the rock.
Excellent job. He's going against Sage Dox-Tatter, a guy we talked about in the open, who I think is going to be a budding star for this program at that left tackle position, and that was an excellent job by Tayi.
Mexico State 3-7, third down so far. Red zone, third down try here. Pressure coming from Utah State. And Rogers runs. Bailey escorts him out of bounds. He's well shy of the marker, picks up 4. Now we'll see what Doug Martin's got in mind with his kicker, Dylan Brown. Has been up and down this year, as well as 16 on field goals.
Well, the thing about it, I think that, he's had a couple of block kicks, a couple against Idaho, and we've even seen blocked extra points. You saw that against Arizona State. So for him, it's about getting the ball up, because you know that one thing about Utah State is they're going to be designing some type of block.
This from 33. He's got 3 more for New Mexico State. 2 for 2, Dylan Brown, who was 3 for 3 against South Alabama in the regular season finale, ending the 57-year bowlless drought. Dylan Brown, pure again for New Mexico State, 13-10. 2018, the brand new morning team as Boomer and Gio react to all the New Year's Day college football and look ahead to the NFL playoffs. Weekday mornings at 6 on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Special teams have been very special. Matt Wells, Utah State head coach, told us yesterday how important it was going to be. Savon Scarver, first career kickoff return for a touchdown. What a move that was. Around Parker Davidson, he crossed the finish line. He's in. Jason Huntley on the response. 100 yards. He breaks the tape for a touchdown as well. Special teams so important. First bowl since 2011. Las Vegas Bowl. Both teams returning a kickoff for a TD. Special teams coaches have got to be pleased on one end to get one, bummed to give it up.
Well, New Mexico State came into the game allowing 25.6 yards of kick return, and that was the second touchdown that's been returned for them. However, Utah State, they were second nationally, only behind Michigan in kickoff coverage, so a bit of a surprise.
Scarver this time will not get an attempt. Take a knee for a touchback. So on our back and forth, first half from Tucson. Let's see how Jordan Love, the freshman quarterback, in his first career bowl start, responds against this very aggressive, physical New Mexico State defense that has 42 sacks this year, tying creating a new single-season record. Not had a lot of heat on Love so far. That might change in this drive for Utah State. Here's Love. With Bright running his route out of the backfield. And pass is incomplete, looking there for Roberts.
Well, that's been a problem. You're talking about drops, and that's the big reason they lost the Air Force game. This is a good route by Roberts, comes back down the stem, and then he just lets it get into his body.
Second down. Bright carries. Runs into Leon McQuaker. Sends him backwards. Gerald Bright, sophomore from Pensacola, Florida. Ian Lawan Hunt with a 1-2 punch at running back for Utah State. It's a gain of 4, third down.
Well, here we go. Are they going to bring some heat or bring some pressure? I think they may be bringing it up from the wide side of the field. So if you do get the pressure, it may come, and you can see them kind of adjusting off. And you see now Malik Demby, he's right here. You've got some guys that might be coming from up here at the top of the screen. You got to be ready for it if it is Utah State line.
Love on third down. Here comes some pressure. Throwing to Van Leeuwen, and it's broken up. Jamon Lomax dives and gets the PBU for New Mexico State. And punt timeout for Utah State.
Well, it's all because of what we talked about. Now, you're going to watch Love. He does a good job, but even that Stody Bradley getting his hands up in his face, and now that is in accordance with what you're seeing from Lomax on the back end. That's what Frank Spaziani has done for this defense. He's given them an identity, and I think when you play this New Mexico State defense, you don't know what's coming on third down.
First 3 and out of the game for Utah State. Aaron Dalton punting to Rose the third. That's a good New Mexico State bounce out to about the 34. Justice Tate, star linebacker, special teams, downs it for Utah State, 13.
New Mexico State leading Utah State by a score of 13-10. And your TGI Fridays player profile is New Mexico State running back Larry Rose III. And the word that's used to describe Larry Rose when you ask anyone about him is unselfish. He's just shy of 900 yards in an offense that's extremely pass heavy. Coach Martin said we transitioned from an offense that was a balanced 50-50 attack to an offense that was 80-20 pass run. He didn't even blink an eye. He never questions anything. He's all about the team, and he's been huge for this team in pass protection, but you can split him out as a wide receiver too. He's a real weapon, and when we met with the Utah State coaches yesterday, Larry Rose was the one guy that was their main concern in this game, guys.
And as Larry told us yesterday, the chip on the shoulder, Mexico State trying to prove themselves, that's turned into a boulder on our shoulder. We really want to come out and shock the college football world here today and get a win. It means so much to the seniors like Larry Rose. First down, Rogers, screenplay set up, and Huntley can't bring it in, incomplete. So a drop for New Mexico State's Jason Huntley. Why do drops happen, Chad?
Well, I'm just trying to run before you catch it in that case, because you've got linemen releasing the block for you in the open field. And Huntley, he knows if he gets a step, we've already seen what he can do.
Second down. Huntley gets the rock, then runs into trouble. Here's to Uga at the bottom of the pile. There for Utah State, sophomore from Rancho Cucamonga, California, 300-pounder. Nose guard for Utah State.
When he did his job, that's what you have him in the game to do, is be a factor on first and second down. Then they bring in Devin Anderson and some of the speed package, and here comes their blitz package on their end.
Now he's showing heat. Here comes the pressure. And Rodgers just gets rid of it. Mika Mongale, true freshman, Lakewood, Washington, provides the pressure against Rodgers. First 3 and out for the Aggies from Las Cruces.
When you think about what Kendrick Shaver and Frank Maile have done on defense, they've kept the tradition going from what you've seen from some of the other people that they've worked with in the past, like Gary Anderson, some of those others that have, well, they got a tradition of defense at this school, and they've certainly kept it going with their creativity.
Rugby style kick, Theisler. Off for Nathan. Jordan Nathan returned for Utah State. McQuaker finds him right away and sends it backwards. With a little help from his friends.
Oh,
Woo.
It's a heck of a play.
Special teams coverage. Chavis loves that.
I do it. I love a Quaker.
Chavis loves in Tucson. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Christian Fourier, Randy Cross from our CBS Sports Network studio in New York. Look around college football. First half stats and analysis. I want to know more about that Wake A&M football. 55-52 Deeks today. John Wolford had 4 touchdown passes. Amazing. Utah State 6-6 this year, Chave. Now scored a punch by an average of 30.1 points per game in their 6 wins. The 6 losses, the numbers not nearly as good. Red zone offense very effective, second best in the Mountain West. And the 6th time in 7 years, the Aggies from Logan are bowling. More time in 5 years for Matt Wells. Last year's 3-9, as he told us yesterday, disaster has been long forgotten. And Utah State moving ahead on schedule with player development and especially recruiting. Very happy about that. I love the offense take over.
Where's Dax Raymond? We've been waiting on him. He's a impressive tight end for this team. He's a guy that is a safety valve for Love.
On first down, see where he's going with it. Aaron Vaughn has the catch, then lost the ball, and it's regained by Utah State. Looked like Hunt came in and made the big play for the Aggies from Logan on the airborne ball, gain of 6.
Well, that's 13 forced fumbles for this football team. Well, here goes number 14, and that's Jaden Wright. And guess how many he has? 7 in his career.
Wow, that was a rip out. Ronquavian Tarver has the catch for Utah State. Back to New York, an update. Here's Brent Stover.
To shoot out of West Texas, Arizona State's Manny Wilkins hits Frank Darby. 45-31, NC State still with the lead, 2 minutes to go. The Sun Bowl over on CBS.
Great matchup from El Paso. Brent, thanks. First down here. Love, pressure, there he goes. All game we've been wanting to see that. Malik Demby has the sack for New Mexico State. It's their 43rd sack of the season, a new school record. And a loss of 7 for Utah State.
Well, watch him get around Roman Andrus. He gets around the corner and then he runs the loop. And then you're taught by your defensive line coaches to run the loop. And I know they got to be happy about the way he did that because his defensive line coach is the coordinator, Frank Maile.
And he almost ripped the ball out at the same time. They play by Demby, junior from Chino, California. 6.5 sacks this year from Malik. Second and long. Here comes some more pressure. Love had that one knocked down, nearly picked, and incomplete. Deshante Lloyd, at 320 pounds, almost had himself a deflected interception and a possible rumble to the end zone for a pick 6.
Yeah, they move him around quite a bit. Watch Stody Bradley and Demby come in and kind of create that havoc. And you got to catch that if you're Lloyd. You don't get many chances. That was pretty cool.
Sets up 3rd and 17.
And I got to be thinking screen and just try to get some of it back. You don't want a big turnover here if you Love.
10 of 13 passing. 85 yards, first half for Love. 3rd and long. And whistles and flags first. Delay
of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Well, now you're starting to see the crowd play a factor. I mean, you're right down the road to Mexico State. You can see the fans. And there's Lloyd getting excited. These are the times where you have to show, as a freshman, some composure. The coaches laud him for that. But here's the key.
275-mile drive, 4 hours for the Aggie fans from Las Cruces. And many have made that drive and trip. Downtown Tucson was all Aggie. Mostly New Mexico State this week. On 3rd down, screen pass, Ronquavian Tarver hit right away. Shakes one tackle and bumped out of bounds by a series of Aggies, including Stody Bradley. And Tarver and company pick up 4, well shy of the needed yards for a first down.
And they're playing with a lot of energy. And Ron LaForce came in there, and you can see that they're feeding off of one another. And the more successful defensive possessions they have, they're going to get confidence on those 3rd downs.
2-time all Mountain West academic pick. Aaron Dalton, punter. For Utah State from Bountiful, Utah. Punting off for Larry Rose III. A couple of bounces, good. Utah State rolls. And Gage Ferguson will down it there for Utah State. Matt Wells told us all his key players, at least 2 special teams units, right?
Yeah, and you've seen them quite a bit most of the time. And look at this celebration. This is a special moment. That was actually the breakup by Perkins to end that game. He made the last play of the game to kind of seal it, and the fans, the same fans that you see getting loud in this stadium, they got real loud that day.
Connor Kramer, game-winning touchdown pass, 40 seconds left. The connection with Tyler Rogers, and it won it for Doug Martin and the Aggies, and they are bowling for the first time since 1960. Amazing. Off the 55-yard punt, Rogers throwing on first down, Rose at third. It's stopped right away and sent backwards. Now incomplete. David Woodward, who had that pick earlier with a heavy hit.
Now watch him close air. If you want to avoid being able to make an open field tackle, you just close the air. And that's exactly what he did. And Rose the third felt Woodward's impact out of Olympia High School up in Washington. They recruit all over the place. We talked with Matt Wells about that, and they got a good one in Woodward.
First career pick came earlier today. Big play there. On second down, comes some pressure. Rogers releases. And Rose the third has the catch. Works his way out to about the 16. It's a gain of 4. First bowl win, 57 years. 3-game bowl losing streak to Utah State. Their first winning season since 02. As we talked about, they did not get the bowl invite that year. It's a program in the last 7 years has endured 2 17-game losing streaks. 2. Third down. Pass sideline. Gage Ferguson on coverage. And Rose the third is a little slow to get up on the New Mexico State sideline.
Well, he's one-on-one, and they've got pretty good pressure, but that was a one-on-one situation where they say, Ferguson, you've got Larry Rose the third. They were in a man coverage type of situation, and Ferguson showing he can do a little bit of everything, including cover.
After a very exciting start with our special teams TDs, we've seen a couple of 3-and-outs in a row, second straight for New Mexico State. Theisler punting to Nathan. Backtracks, grabs it, and out of bounds. About the 32.
Oh, you like that?
Some excitement from Peyton Theisler. I love it. Yeah, Superman. 52-yard punt. Aggies from Las Cruces, big defense today.
Oh, they've stopped the run, and you see Shane Jackson, he was energetic early. You can see Lopez, some of these guys in pursuit. This is Dalton Harrington running down Love from the inside out. Now you see around the edge, Malik Demby getting around Roman Andrus. And New Mexico State, their crowd has been a factor, and that's going to be important to get under control. If you use Utah State, maybe run the ball a little bit, take a little bit of pressure off of Love.
Only have 27 rushing yards, Jay, in the first half so far. Right on cue, Bright the carry, turns the corner. Gerald Bright keeps on trucking and runs into eventually the contact from Ron LaForce.
He's a player with outstanding foot speed. You saw that against Air Force on the 75-yarder. You know, he's not necessarily, I mean, he's averaging a lot of yards per carry, and they're going to keep him at running back and talking with the coaches this spring.
Gain of 11, first down. Love passing, Bright catching. Gerald Bright. LaForce again involved in the stop defensively for New Mexico State. 98 tackles on the season heading into the bowl game for Ron LaForce, tops among defensive backs in the Sun Belt Conference. Last year for the Aggies in the Sun Belt, independent next year. Love on first down, looks for Tarver. McQuaker on coverage, incomplete, and no flag. So, Jay, what's happened in terms of the game settling down defensively for each side?
Well, I think for New Mexico State and defensive coordinator Frank Spaziani, what he's done is he's done a good job of stopping the run. They haven't run it as much as he probably anticipated on first down, and getting them in pressure situations on third down, he's been successful dialing up the right ones to get the one-on-one matchups he wants.
Utah State only 139 total yards in the first half so far. Touchdown came on a Savon Scarver kickoff return. Second down, Love, the big arm. Roberts the catch. Braylon Roberts right at the sticks at the 35. Chains move first down.
You can definitely see the RPMs and the arm talent of Love.
Right back at it. That pass incomplete. Roberts intended receiver. See a few of those throws this year from Love. Just miss a target. Guys open.
Now, that was a drop, though. I mean, you've got a lot of drops from this crew since he's been playing quarterback.
Air Force game for sure. You're right about that. I mean, I counted 10 watching the tape.
You know, the coach talked about that yesterday. Yeah. You know, it's a different ball than from Kent Myers. And it certainly takes some adjusting. And they've made some good catches, too, particularly Tarver down the field. But
second down. End around play. Vaughns. This went for a touchdown against Air Force. Aaron Vaughns. A nice pickup. Pinballed around. McQuaker involved in the stop. Along with Dalton Harrington, there is a flag down.
Blocking the back. Offense number 52. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Right tackle Sean Taylor. Second penalty against him today.
There's Taylor. You can see him out in space, and he pretty much just knocks down. Let's see exactly who that was, but that backs him up and puts them exactly where Frank Spaziani wants it. They're back in the second and long, and these are the downs where you have to create the third and longs.
Hunts the feature back. Saw, as you mentioned, Raymond was a factor early with 3 catches. Since then, it's been really quiet for Dax Raymond. Second down. Love is throwing over the middle. Quavian Tarver has the catch. Shamon Lomax, corner for New Mexico State, wraps him up, sends him down. Gain of 9, but a big third down on the way for Utah State. Shotgun again for Love. Throws. Catch for Hunt. Stop Lomax. Shamon Lomax read it and dropped him. The sophomore from due west, South Carolina, your home state, Corey James.
Yeah, and a lot of guys from South Carolina playing in this game. In fact, Jaleel Scott is another guy from South Carolina, and we'll get into some of the others, but I think it's a good decision. Now we're going to see the range of Epperly. You know, he's a player that can hit this field goal with no problem, and they need it.
But not this time. Well, wide left, no good. Off the foot of Dominic Everly from 44. And Matt Wells chatting with Sean Taylor about that penalty that really hurt Utah State's chances to at least tie the game.
Let's take a look and see what kind of hold Nelson gets. Does he get the laces around? It looks like he does, and it really looks like it really seemed like on that kick he short-legged it a little bit. You see the laces are, it's a perfect hold. And you know, one of the things that I noticed in watching Everly was that he had a tendency for his kicks to go a little right to left. So it worked well from the right hash. That time from the left hash, you can see that natural drift hurt him.
Mexico State takes over. First down pass. Jay Clark, I will mention all Sun Belt Conference pick this year, 44 catches. His real weapon, we talked about the injury that knocked him out of the lineup at the end of the regular season against South Alabama for New Mexico State. Separated shoulder. Got hurt against Idaho. And get him going, that makes a big difference. Pump fake. Rogers, second down. Pressure comes and down he goes. They're all over Tyler Rogers.
They're bringing a little corner and pressure that time from Fortenberry.
You got it. It's a loss of 2. Deontay Fortenberry, junior from Oakland. The JC transfer, community college of San Francisco. And Matt Wells told us yesterday how important California is for Utah State's recruiting efforts. Third down. Rogers, good pass protection. Muse has the catch, then falls down. Anthony Muse, his 38th catch of the year, 4th best on the Aggie roster. It's a gain of 6. They lost his footing and punt time for New Mexico State again.
When they were running a square in behind that crosser, so it's an excellent read by Rogers. He makes a good throw, and then Muse just loses his balance, and he's been a big factor for this team on third down. That was his 14th catch of the year on third down for Anthony Muse.
There's no one, check that. Nathan is deep for Utah State. Feisler punting. Nathan indicates for and makes the fair catch. Almost kick catch interference. He's got it. At about the 27. First down for Utah State. Back down to Melanie Collins on the field.
Dave, Coach Wells got choked up yesterday when talking about the role Kent Myers has played in Jordan Love's progression. Coach said he gets emotional about it because he's been in Kent's position before. He knows exactly how it feels, but he told us he's handled it like a true pro. He's been unbelievably supportive, and he said he has all the confidence in the world in Kent, too. So if anything were to happen to Jordan Love and he had to sit, he wouldn't bat an eye with Kent, and that's a great position to be in.
Matt Wells told Kent, Melanie, do not undermine him, do not backstab him, be supportive in every way, and to his credit, the senior Kent Myers lost the starting job, has done just that. It's a good story for Utah State. Bright the carry on first down, loses some real estate for the Aggies. That's not easy, Corey, for a guy like Kent Myers to give up the starting position.
Well, no, but it's kind of how he got the starting position and when it was Chucky Keaton's team.
That's right. Amazing. Second down and long here. That pass over the middle. Vaughns has the catch right in front of Ron LaForce. 2:17 in the first half and 2 timeouts for Utah State. Gain of 12. Aggies go fast. And Love, sideline, Ronquavian Turner with coverage from Lomax, incomplete.
You don't want to waste downs now. Now you've got the element of the 3 timeouts left, and they're rotating some receivers in, but it's a situation where you want to get points out of this drive of Utah State, particularly after the missed field goal.
Try to get at least to the 35-yard line to give Eberle a chance. That's what Matt Wells is comfortable with, but he just missed the field goal moments ago from 44.
Well, he's got to keep his eye on Harrington and also Hanks from up here at the top of the screen, blitzing.
Second down. Carry out to about the 41-yard line, Lawan Hunt. Lots of contact for New Mexico State.
Well, you see them pressure, and you see how they cause the confusion, and then there's Jaden Wright coming up and making another play. Now it's third down where New Mexico State excels. Can Love come through on a key third down?
Love 60 to 23. First half, 135 yards. Third down numbers abysmal so far for Utah State. Third down here. Love with pressure from McQuaker. That pass got deflected and falls incomplete near the 45. Heating him up again. Shane Jackson involved one more time for New Mexico State.
So what are they doing? You're going to see it inside. You're going to see all these people crossing around, and you can see how that confuses their offensive line. You've got a pretty good pickup inside by Ninguez and also Castaneda, but your center, Ficklin, had to pick up, and then you have a free hitter. And Love's got to get rid of the ball.
Dalton punting to Larry Rose, a third. Makes a fair catch at about the 14. And that's where New Mexico State will take over. Minute 15 to go in the first half. All 3 timeouts for the gunslinger, Tyler Rogers. We know he can get it done through the air, Jay.
Well, it's going to be important. One of the things that we talked about in the keys to the game was single high disguise. And what I mean by that is, if you're at Utah State, what do you show Rogers? You fooled him early with that disguise, and you went to a split safety look. And you can see right here, when I say split safety, one safety here, one safety there. So it's going to be important for the middle of the field for him to locate what's going on in the middle of the field in the pre-snap.
First down. Rogers struggled a bit so far. This one, Kramer has the catch. Hit hard on the play on the sideline by Dallin Levitt, star safety for Utah State. Connor Kramer, former quarterback at New Mexico State.
They got to pick up the pace a little bit here. This is a little bit, for a team that goes fast, they're going a little slow at this point.
Another minute left first half. Catch for Clark. Chris Jansen chases him out of bounds. Utah State, the junior from Stansbury, Utah. 47 seconds, all timeouts available for Doug Martin here. On third down, Rose at third. Mary Rose at third, first down and then some. Spins away from tacklers again. He's still on his feet.
Over the ball.
And then he lost the ball with a flag down. Christiansen makes the play for Utah State on a wild sequence. There is a flag down near midfield. Rose the third on the spin.
That changes everything, Dave. Now Utah State's got a chance. They've got basically all 3 timeouts left.
Let's see what happened. Spin, and it went out right there.
Yeah, Rockamore rocked his bell.
John
Personal
Trell Rockamore.
foul, horse collar by the passing team. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And tack on 15. How about that? Desmond Candelaire, the New Mexico State right guard, trying to tackle Christiansen off the fumble caused by John Trell Rockaberry, commits the penalty. So 15 now for Utah State in the right direction with 36 seconds left of the half. Wow.
Well, one thing about New Mexico State, they play a lot of off coverage, so they're back here. They're not going to give you a chance for quick fades. You got to excel in the short game.
So it's first down. Love is throwing. Tarver the catch.
Good job by Love, Dave. You know that they're playing off coverage. You just want to pick up some of it. It's 29 seconds to go. So if they're going to continue to play off of your receivers, you've got to take advantage on the outside.
Game 14, pass to Ron Quavian Tarver. First down here for Utah State. 29 seconds left, first half, 2 timeouts. The Aggies from Las Cruces show potential pressure here with McQuaker and Harrington. Love looking for Raymond over the middle. It's knocked down, incomplete.
What a job that was by Terrell Hanks. I mean, he does a little bit of it all for this team. He has 2 interceptions and 5 pass breakups coming in, and he's locking down Dax Raymond. He says, no way, not today.
So second attempt.
I still think you want to take a look down here at the bottom to Tarver. Even if they're playing off, I know Lomax is down there. If you can get a one-on-one with Tarver, take another shot if you love.
Throwing. Tarver behind him this time. Lomax, some contact, and it falls incomplete. Third and 10 now for Matt Wells at Utah State. Cowbells are ringing. Aggie fans from Las Cruces brought them. A 4-hour drive. They're making some noise right here.
And they move over to create 3 receivers to one side, and they see New Mexico State is still playing zone coverage.
Shift for Hunt. Third down, flag down, and flags. Whistle to stop play on the pass to Hunt.
Boy, they had something there, didn't they?
They sure did.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Lonai Ininguez is the guilty part of their chair.
Yeah, there he goes right there. You can see him kind of get a little bit antsy, trying to anticipate some of those looks that you see. That was almost a penalty for Frank Spaziani with all these different disguises. And once again, let's see how they're going to play this. It looks like it could be some man coverage.
Run play. Hunt. Big pickup. Nailed there by Dalton Harrington. And got to about the 13 to get a 10.
Now they've run the ball quite a bit on fourth down. They've got 3 rushing touchdowns on fourth down. So they're going to think about this for a minute.
Timeout. 2 seconds.
Timeout. Utah State. That's their second full timeout.
And Dominic Eberle did miss from 44. 1 for 2 so far in the game today, getting ready to try to kick this field goal to tie it at the end of the half.
And one of those runs, the reason I mentioned that, Dave, was a fake field goal. And it was a touchdown. not too long ago by that holder that you like so much, DJ Nelson. It was against Wyoming. So the runs don't always come traditionally. Sometimes it's fourth down. You think they're going to kick a field goal and they run it. I don't expect them to fake it here. I expect them to go ahead and kick it. And I think Eberle is going to get a little bit of a redemption for that missed field goal earlier.
Good from 35. And hooked the 44-yard attempt earlier in the second quarter, wide left. Now, Doug Martin could use the timeouts to ice him. Can't take him with you. We've seen a triple icing before, right?
Oh, yeah. And I think you were calling for them to use every timeout there. I think it was the Florida Atlantic game.
Big proponent of using all your first down timeouts. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. But in this situation, is he already thinking about it a little bit after missing that last field goal?
Ronnie Burnett, the referee, 30th year official, Conference USA crew here, chatting with Matt Wells. And Eberle trying to line things up. Now, Doug Martin told us pregame he's not feeling well. In fact, he was diagnosed with walking pneumonia this week. So we hope Doug's doing okay. See, look how tough it out here. I feel terrible. Good to see him on the field and hanging in there.
That's some toughness.
Tough guy, football coach. We'll see if Coach Martin uses some timeouts here. This from 30 for Eberle. He's got it. And that ends 30 exciting minutes from Tucson. And the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl tied 13-13.
This time I think he gets back into who he is. Another good hold by Nelson. Blue Groves Award finalist, Eberle, one of the best.
End of the first half, we were all tied 13 apiece. After the break, we'll send you back to our CBS Sports Network studio in New York for the Verizon Halftime Report with Brent, Houston, Christian, and Randy. You're watching the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl on CBS Sports Network.
Playing behind the chains. As we watch Utah State come out, will they play behind the chains again?
Those first stats brought to us by Stouffer's Fit Kitchen Bowls, Jay. We'll see about those third down numbers. We'll see about special teams adjustments in our second half here from Tucson. Lawan Hunt, feature return man for Utah State. Parker Davidson, kickoff man for New Mexico State. 30 minutes to decide a champion here in Tucson tonight. Out of bounds.
You don't want to do that.
That will give the Aggies of Logan the ball at the 35.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball be placed at the 35. First down.
Let's go back down to Melanie Collins.
Well, Dave, I spoke with Coach Martin first. He's extremely pleased with the way his team ran the ball in the first half, as well as the way his defense has played so aggressively. But he said we have to be better in pass protection, and we have to get Tyler some more time back there and get him into more of a rhythm. I asked how he's feeling with the diagnosis. He said, I'm surviving. I have another half in me. And then Matt Wells said his message to his guys is it's all about us. We've been our own worst enemy. We got to stick to what we do and how we do it.
All right, Mel, second half underway here. First play from scrimmage. Catch. Dax Raymond has the grab. Off-banded after a big pickup for Utah State at 15 yards. And the Aggies from Logan in business. Raymond could be a real factor for Utah State. Quavian Tarver can't bring that in.
Well, we talked about the drops, and they continue early in the second half. There you go. You got him running the stop right on the outside, and it's a pretty good throw. A little high, but that's a catch you expect Tarver to make any day of the week.
We've counted 5 drops now for Utah State in this game. When the Aggies of Logan struggle, that is a big problem. Numbers for love. Second down, Hunt makes some tackles miss. One play strung out. Leon McQuaker. Terrell Hanks to stop.
where they're pulling around and then Iniguez trying to make a block, and they're just beating it with Harrington. And then you got McQuaker, the Earthquaker, along with the guy you just mentioned, Hanks. And now you got him in third down, and this is where we've already talked about the struggles. In the first half, Utah State was 1 of 9 on third downs. Can Love get it together versus these multiple packages of New Mexico State?
Fake the screen. Pressure coming. Hit as he throws. Behind his intended receiver in Carson Terrell. And incomplete for Utah State. Some heat on Love.
Well, watch Roy Lopez. He says, no way. He comes inside and you better get rid of it. And throws it behind. Almost an excellent effort and catch by Terrell, but continues to be a struggle on third down for the Aggies. And we're talking about both Aggies.
Fifth punt of the game for Dalton coming up here. Rose the third, deep to receive the kick for New Mexico State. Line drive punt. Rose the third, watches that bounce. And good coverage. Gage Ferguson down inside the 5 for Utah State. Special teams.
Well, I mean, that's what Dalton, they call those the hang 10s or the sky kicks. We talked with Matt Wells. Martin Tommerdahl has really done a good job of not only scheming up blocks and returns as we've seen earlier, but that part of their game has helped their defense throughout the season.
Special teams coordinator, first year under Matt Wells and Logan.
I really like what he does from a schematic perspective.
Rose at third. First down carry. And Tongiai just back in the lineup. Injured end of the regular season for Utah State. Has a tackle. Number for Rogers. Stats for him in the first half. Jay, what'd you make of Tyler's first 30 minutes?
Well, I thought he was under a lot of pressure. I thought he got flustered at times, and Rose took a lot of the pressure off of him in that first half.
Second and 9. Throws from his end zone. Brought in. Isaiah Lottie has his first catch of the game. He had 4 touchdowns this year. Lottie, a real weapon. He had 2 touchdown catches in that win over arch rival New Mexico in Albuquerque. Anytime you beat New Mexico and UTEP in the same year, and New Mexico State, that's a big deal. Arch rivals. Play them every season. Third down. Pressure off the edge. That pass brought in. Jonathan Boone has been pretty quiet today. Gets out to about the 13, but he needs the 14 for a first down. He's going to be shy. And UtahState is shaking up for Utah State. It's a gain of 6.
That's another third down stop for this Utah State defense, and that's the 10th third down stop in this game.
Tate, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 forced fumbles this year for Utah State. And shaking up on the tackle there of Jonathan Boone. 35 tackles this year for Justice, entering the bowl game tonight. Sophomore from Oceanside, California.
He's been real active throughout the game, and I don't think any of us would have expected that at this point in the game that Love would have almost 75 more passing yards than Tyler Rogers, but that's exactly what we have, and Tayi is a big reason why, one of the reasons why.
Just outside the San Diego area. Being helped off, and we'll find out as much as we can from Melanie when she gets the info on Justice Tayi. So fourth down, the result of the catch from Boone, shot of the marker, punt time for New Mexico State. The punters have been busy. Peyton Feisler lines up a yard deep in his end zone. Punting to Nathan. Releases from the 2. Line drive kick. Nathan inside his 40. Couple of good moves, still on his feet. And knocked down at about the 44. Lai on special teams coverage, wide receiver for New Mexico State. Arizona Stadium, just beautiful scene here tonight, and a perfect night for college football. We're all tied up on CBS Sports Network.
Minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reese's, perfect. And by Fridays. In here, it's always Friday.
Fantastic pregame ceremonies. First, the 162nd Fighter Wing, the Wings of Blue pregame flyover, and then Commander Scott Beauchamp flying the U.S. Air Force parachute team. 6 jumpers and a ground crew. They're based out of the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. Had a chance to meet Commander Beauchamp at the hotel this morning. Gave me the lowdown on the flight plan. Pretty cool stuff. First down, incomplete pass from Love. Dax Raymond, intended receiver for Utah State.
And what happens when you have that incompletion on first down, you can't get your pace going, and it puts you back in another passing situation, and that's why the run game hasn't been a factor here in the second half. They haven't run the ball enough, I believe, on first down. And that's something that I think you've got to try to incorporate at times moving forward.
Utah State 56 rushing yards straight in the game here tonight. That's it. 2nd and 10. Love. Run game. Effective with Bright. Did step out of bounds and marked it about the 41. On the run around the right side. Found the edge. Found real estate. And a big run for Gerald Bright.
Well, this guy's from Pensacola, Florida. And we say bright lights when he gets the ball because he has that kind of speed. And look at the balance along the sidelines. I mean, he nearly stays in bounds. You've got to get him involved, him and Scarborough.
16-yard gain. Quavian Tarver cannot bring that one in. Incomplete in front of Owens.
Let's take a look and see this right foot where it comes out of bounds. And that's something that maybe it was the left foot, but
it was close.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good call.
That's kind of what I'm talking about, though, Dave. Now you're back in 2nd and 10 because you threw that out route that was incomplete to Tarver right after the positive run gain by Bright. So you're back in 2nd and long.
On 2nd down, Quavian Tarver has the catch. Jaden Wright, first to get to him. Again, physical, 6 foot, 217-pound senior from Lewisville, Texas. One of the top safeties in the Sun Belt Conference. Nice play, gain of 4.
Looks like now they're going to get some more pressure from these inside backers. Look for these 2 guys to potentially come. You see, they play games with you. As you start moving around, watch them move around this defense led by Harrington. They're going to wait to the last minute because they're looking at the play clock too. So it's a chess match inside. Now they back off.
Amidst the cowbells, Love is running. Makes a nice move around McQuaker and then lunges forward, but he is going to be a yard shy of the first down. Gain of 5. And Matt Wells does not hesitate. Out comes Eberle.
This is, we're getting towards, okay, we've seen him kick a 50-yard field goal at the end of the half, actually, against Wyoming. Let's see if he can repeat the feat.
Will not do it. Wide left again for a 2nd time tonight. He's hooked it wide. And a 2nd miss for Eberle. And Matt Wells and Utah State come up empty.
You never expect your all-conference kicker to have his worst game of the season in the bowl game. But that's what Utah State is having to go through tonight.
Maybe 1-2 in the draft. Gerald Bright, Jay, did he step out of bounds or not?
Well, we're going to take a look, and we can try to zoom this in as we. Okay, they're going to take a look and see right here if there's any. Is there any grass there, or is he in bounds? And I think they blew it dead on the field, and everybody stopped. And so there's no reason for the review at that point, but he may very well have been in bounds, Dave.
By rule, once it's ruled out of bounds on the field, it cannot be reviewed. It could have been challenged on that play by Matt Wells. He did not exercise the 1 challenge. First down. Rogers, screenplay setup. Rose III has the catch, and he gets nailed. Great pursuit. Christiansen is all over him.
And this has to feel good for Christiansen that now not have the cast on. He's been wearing a cast most of the season. This is the first game that's been on that left hand. That's affected some of his tackles. He still has 3 forced fumbles this year because he's a very aggressive, active player.
Second down. And long. Clark can't make the catch. Gage Ferguson had him lined up in the crosshairs. He'll try for a big play defensively. There's Wildman is going to have to leave the field for a play.
Well, he got away from Jalen Davis, who we haven't heard much from tonight. And also Dallin Levitt in the middle of the field. And Clark, who's an exciting player. I mean, just some of the stuff that he did this year on tape has been exciting in terms of what he did against New Mexico for one.
Rose III has a catch. Gage Ferguson has him and wrestles him out of bounds in front of the New Mexico State bench. And it is shy again of the marker needed about the 43 for the first down. The punt unit back on the field, gain of 8 on the connection between Rogers and Rose III. Out comes Nathan again. 6th punt of the night here on the way for New Mexico State.
We're talking about 3 for 14 now on third downs as well.
Fake. Lottie. First down. New Mexico State. That's how you flip the script. Isaiah Lottie on the pitch from Kramer, the former quarterback. Gain of 9, first down Aggies.
Well, anytime you have the bag of tricks that these two teams have in terms of being able to really employ players at different positions on your special teams with quarterback backgrounds, you're always susceptible to those fakes if you're not paying attention.
Offense right back in the field. Pressure off the edge. Tip ball. Knocked around. Levitt the pick. Dallin Levitt. Interception. Utah State. That's right back to the Aggies of Logan. A couple deflections. Volleyball around. And Levitt brings it in for the pick. The boundary safety. The senior from Portland, Oregon.
Well, these slants are a popular concept for New Mexico State. They run them throughout the year. And you get an excellent play by Mungale. He tips it up. Then Scott tries to tip it. And then you got Levitt at the right place at the right time. So Christiansen almost had a chance to get it. And there's Levitt coming away with the big turnover.
4th pick of the year, 7th interception of Levitt's career. Love carrying. The Quaker finds him and drags him down. So back-to-back exciting plays. Gain of 1, Jordan Love. 2nd and long. Pocket collapses. Quaver up and makes the catch. Ronquavian Tarver on the go route, flag down, makes the play for Utah State.
Man, he stretched that ball over the goal line too, Dave. We'll have to see where his knee came down at, but it's that body control we were talking about with Tarver and those long arms.
Defense number 22. Penalties decline. Result of the play, first down.
Shamad Lomax guilty party on the PI. Let's see.
Watch this effort at the end of the play. Now you see him go up. Now watch him extend right there. Looks like his knee was down at that 2-yard line. About
he almost got in, you're right.
Yeah. It was a really good effort. I think this would be a good time to get Hunt back involved. He's been a big factor in the red zone. He has 10 rushing touchdowns coming into the game. A lot of times they like to run in behind Castaneda.
Off the 40-yard completion. 1st and goal. The pitch knocked down. Watch it. Loose. Recovered. Terrell Hanks reaches out, knocks down the pitch, and recovers it for New Mexico State. What a play. Incredible effort for Hanks.
You know, what can't this kid do? He's working off the edge. He almost takes it right out of the hands of Love. With those, he's another player with outstanding length. It's been 2 years in a row that he's been the best player on this defense. When you go back to 2016, these plays were evident all the time. He's constantly a factor making dirty plays. That came up clean, the fumble recovery.
The junior from Miami, spectacular play. Team leader in sacks. Darrell Hanks, you're right, he almost took the ball right away from Love and ran it the other way for an Aggie touchdown. Huge turnover in the red zone. And it's back to New Mexico State and Rogers. Whistles and flags.
False start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Right tackle Isaac McLean, junior out of California.
And you know, you think about Isaac McLean, he's gotten better, started 12 games at right tackle, but these false starts, the last game of the season, he had 2 of them against South Alabama. And that's the one thing that you've got to get under control, particularly when you're backed up like this.
1st and 15, Rose the third, navigates off right tackle. Woodward, Christiansen and company wrestling backwards. A series of huge plays. Interceptions, deep passes, and Darrell Hanks taking the game over. That was unbelievable.
You got Scott right here. They like to run him on shallow crossers from time to time in this position. Let's see if he tries to get him back involved.
Rogers, time, delivers over the middle. Muse the catch. There's a flag down. Back for Anthony Muse, sophomore from Slimar, California. It's a gain of 9 if it stands. Rodney Burnett discussing things with the New Mexico State bench.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 players on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty, second down.
You know, we can go to our counter and see whether or not it really was 12. As well as they've been playing on third down, they didn't need or don't need any extra bodies. They've had a tremendous performance getting New Mexico State off the field, and Rogers still does not have, I don't believe, 100 yards passing in this game.
17 for 31, 95 yards. Here's second down. Maybe goes over 100 here. Throwing over the middle, in traffic and incomplete. As Leilani, the intended receiver, cannot make the play. Jalen Davis. Talked about him a lot, top of the broadcast, involved there in the breakout.
Well, I think this is why you leave Davis inside, because and there's going to be some talk about whether or not, you know, he was a little handsy on that play, but I thought it was a very competitive play, and that's what you get from Davis. And they move him around a lot, all over the place. He's lined up inside again.
3 pick sixes this year for Davis, tops in the nation. Third down, Rogers again in the middle. It's a drop. Muse can't bring it in.
That was the same crossing route we saw. Remember he fell down earlier. That would have been a first down. So some of the success on third down for this Utah State defense has not been, you know, forced errors. It's been an unforced error, in that case a drop, that has kind of did in or done in the Aggies.
Jontrell Rockmore on coverage there for Utah State. It's been a headline in this game tonight. Drops on each side. Off a fake punt. Look at this formation. Feisler kicks. Nathan receives and makes a fair catch at the 41. 42-yard punt. Peyton Feisler. Timeout in Tucson, all tied. 13. Also a win over their bitter rivals, the Jets. The Bengals battle the Ravens, or the Jags take on the Titans. And a Baltimore, Tennessee win, they're in. NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines, kicks off the day with the complete playoff picture at 12 Eastern on CBS. Been quite a second half change. Gerald Bright, did he step out of bounds or not?
Yeah,
it was close.
That was real close. And then Lottie Dottie on the fake punt. We like to party. New Mexico State. We don't cause trouble until we tip it up and we get an interception from down 11. And boy, what a play this was by Terrell Hanks, who's done everything for this football team. And look at those third down numbers. It's been anemic for both of these offenses on third down. And if they don't get that corrected, it may come down to a final possession game.
You worked that in very well, by the way.
Well, Carlo Gennarini, he was telling me a little bit about it. He wrapped the whole verse down before.
First down. Bright navigates. McQuaker. First to get to him.
What about McQuaker? What a game he's had. And he's been such a factor for them. We talked to the coaches, and they said he just developed as the season went on, and you've seen it here tonight.
That was his 11th tackle of the game. He's been everywhere tonight for New Mexico State.
And I think he's a big reason they made it to a bowl game. His performance late in that South Alabama game was tremendous.
On second down, Love. DJ Nelson gets the ball with a catch back down to Melanie.
Dave, I was listening into the New Mexico State defense before they took the field, and the coaches were saying, guys, we do not care about anything else. 3-and-out takeaway, and that's it. That's what they're looking for on defense.
We've certainly seen plenty of that this game, Mel. No question. A punt fest tonight.
Do they bring pressure here in a 3rd and short?
Test it again here. Right, lunging forward. That spot is a yard shy again.
There's so much movement up front with these linebackers. Dalton Harrington is kind of the maestro who gets everything organized. They kind of fall back with him, and you can see that they just are in concert with one another, affecting the gap control of that Utah State offensive line.
Sixth punt of the game for Aaron Dalton, if they punt it. He does this time. Rose the third. Indicates for the fair catch. It's out of bounds on the bounce.
What a day it's been for Dalton.
Inside the 10, 41-yard punt. Aaron Dalton, big weapon tonight to go here in Tucson, Arizona. 13-13 game. Geico difference makers. Larry Rose up to 107 rushing yards. For his career, 4,532 rushing yards. That is 6th active in the FBS.
And then on the other side, Ronquavian Tarver, what a night it's been for him. The spectacular catch that was almost a touchdown before the spectacular play by Hanks that ruined that red zone possession. And for a team that's been successful in the red zone most of the year, too many field goals. But tonight, New Mexico State taking it away from them.
Where has Jaleel Scott been?
Right here, and we've been waiting.
1 catch, 7 yards. That's it. That came in the first half. Here's first down. Mesh play. And the run there for Jason Huntley, the sophomore from Arlington, Texas. Scampers ahead. Picks up 4.
What a physical specimen. Watching him run some routes before the game, I was impressed with how he was rolling the speed out. Look at those numbers. We're talking about tied for 2nd in the conference in the Sun Belt with 8 touchdowns. And tonight, hadn't had a lot of this. Press coverage down here at the bottom with Ingram. Maybe this is his chance.
Rodgers throws instead. Safety valve pass to Huntley. Marcus Ingram wrestles him out of bounds. Gain of 3. Playing it safe.
Well, what they've done a lot tonight is they've taken Gage Ferguson, their safety, and they've had him over to this side. Now, you've got to be alert if you're Rodgers in the middle of the field as to whether or not Ferguson right here, if he's in coverage, then you've got the one-on-one with Scott.
The third down try for Mexico State. Rodgers airs this one out. Kramer broken up. At the last second, incomplete.
Well, you're not going to make a living throwing at Jalen Davis. Man. It's a pretty good touch by Rodgers, and watch the recovery by Davis, and watch him get his head around the last minute and knock that ball away. And he went to the game with 11 interceptions, 4 to the house. You mentioned that earlier. Also has 8 quarterback sacks in his career. He'll be playing on Sundays as at least a nickelback for some NFL team.
Second team All-American. Showing us why. Theisler punts to Nathan again. Nathan on the return. Shakes one tackler, but not 2. And down he goes. On special teams coverage for New Mexico State.
Aganon.
One of the receivers, Josh Aganon. Redshirt senior from Scottsdale, Arizona, 49-yard punt. And great kick coverage for the Aggies from Las Cruces.
It's been a great day on special teams for both units. Whether it's a fake punt, a kickoff return, punters down, getting the ball inside the 10-yard line. I think that's been the name of this game, and how the field position has been controlled through special teams.
Back to Utah State. Lawan Hunt dives through traffic. Gets physical. Pretty good pickup on first down. Stopped by Harrington. Gain of 5 for Lawan Hunt. 17 career rushing touchdowns. The senior from Fort Lauderdale. Just feel like each offense, with the exception of that long play to Tarver, in this third quarter has just been stuck in second gear. Just can't get going. On second down, Hunt shakes one tackle. Harrington got really physical, and the rugby scrum continues for a while. Stody Bradley had a shot at him. Put him down near the line of scrimmage and couldn't bring him down.
Well, Hunt gave a shot. You can see Dax Raymond come out. Look at the cutback. Runs right through Stody Bradley, and bam. You better get your pads down in that situation if you're going to come up. Ron LaForce.
Love on the keep. Harrington turns it back upfield, and Jackson puts him away. That was a first down run from Hunt a moment ago. Utah State goes fast. Second and long. Two kickoff returns. The opening moments of our game for touchdowns. One for each side, back-to-back. Those have been the TDs so far. Love on the play fake. Throws sideline route. And the catch is made. Braylon Roberts, well-timed, and a perfect delivery from Jordan Love.
Well, you couldn't have said it better. Look at where that ball is placed between the 8s, on the move to his right. And I mean, that's why Jordan Love is playing. I mean, his potential as a passer, unlimited.
Another good stat for you. Bottom of the screen, 17 first downs, but no offensive touchdowns so far. Savon Scarver, first quarter kickoff return for a touchdown. A couple field goals for Everly. He's missed 2, and we're tied. On first down, Bright, right up the gut. Lunges forward, gets to about the 43 of New Mexico State.
Well, Dave, defense and special teams, you won't find me complaining. You know I love both of those, and I've got a full belly right now. I mean, you're getting everything you want from these two defenses. They're battling it out, and the special teams have accompanied that. And these offenses have to grind it out if they're going to win a game.
Bright lost his helmet. You saw that. Scampered off the field, replaced by Trey Miller. First time we've seen him. True freshman, St. George, Utah. Ran for 115 yards this year. Second down. Miller gets the carry right on cue. Runs into a lot of trouble. Shante Lloyd, big number 94, 320-pound senior, the first to get to him. Rex Pazziani, longtime defensive coordinator. So many programs, Boston College, a lot of success, lots of bowl games, helping the Aggie D this year. On to Doug Martin. White's back in. Big third down play. Final minute, third quarter. Love steps into that throw. Overthrown. Carson Terrell, intended receiver. It does not look like Matt Wells in a tie game. Chavis going to roll the dice here with 31 seconds to go in the third. We'll punt again.
Well, not the way your defense is playing. And remember, this punter, we've talked about him all day long. Aaron Dalton has had an outstanding day with these hang tens, as they call it, from Mark Tomerdal, getting them inside the 10. Can he place another punt and make New Mexico State go the length of the field?
Good numbers from Dalton. 5th best in the Mountain West in punt average heading into this bowl game.
And he does it again.
Again. Job well done. It's been a story the entire game. Down 11. Downs that 37-yard punt from Aaron Dalton inside the 5. Jaleel Scott, was he shaken up last series here for New Mexico State? Let's find out. Thought I saw him on the sideline right after they could not convert. Let's go down to Melly, find out.
Well, Dave, I can tell you he did tweak his right ankle again. It's been bothering him all game. It is heavily taped, and he kept trying to walk it off on the sideline, but you can tell he's in a lot of pain, so a good chance that that's limiting him, but he continues to play.
This has not been a factor, Mel. Clearly bothering him. So again, the Aggies deep in their own end. Rose the third on the carry. Levitt on the pursuit, trying to find him in space. And Jalen Davis got there first and smacked him down. I like how Jalen Davis tackles Jake.
Yeah, he does a good job of tackling. That's something that really has been a hallmark for him throughout his career. He's always been active in that category. Going all the way back to 2014, he had 60 tackles that season.
That's the end of the third quarter.
End of the third. We are still all tied 13 apiece. Been fun in Tucson tonight. You're watching the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl on CBS Sports Network. Fourth quarter is on the way. Game summary, Corey Chavis. Third down numbers. Wow. Only 4 conversions between these two teams, and, well, a whole lot of punts. 14 combined punts in our game tonight.
Well, I think at some point, Larry Rose III, he's a program changer in what you've been able to do. You heard Melanie earlier talk about what's going on with Jaleel Scott and the ankle. You still have to keep him involved, but these two running backs, we talked about in the open, two-dimensional. Well, guess what? You've got Huntley and Scott in the backfield now. You've got to make these Utah State linebackers match these running backs in space the rest of the game.
Starting the fourth. Only 98 passing yards tonight for Rogers. Record-setting New Mexico State quarterback. Second down. Pressure off the edge. Delivers over the middle. Catch made by Muse near the 10-yard line. So third down. Last time the New Mexico State Aggies played a bowl game, 1960, against Utah State. They led the Utah State Aggies 14-13 after 3, won it 2013. Here it's tied. 57 years later going into the fourth. Third down. Rogers. Deep ball. It's incomplete with Davis on coverage. Trying for O.J. Clark. Pretty well thrown ball. Great man-to-man coverage. Stick it to him like glue. There's a reason Davis is smiling on that sideline right now.
Well, it is. And I'm a little bit surprised at the matchups that Rogers has chosen on third down. There's a big reason why I guess he's got 15 or 16 completions now of less than 10 yards. When he has gone deep, he's challenged Davis for whatever reason.
Feisler off the side of his foot. And the script changes with a bad punt this time from Peyton Feisler. He and Aaron Dalton have been such big factors tonight with 15 combined punts. That is out of bounds and only a 13-yard kick from Feisler. And And it gives Utah State great field position.
Well, when he misses punts, they're normally to his right. You go back to the New Mexico game this year in 2017, his second punt, he lost it to the right. His third punt, he lost it right again. And inevitably, here we go in the bowl game with 14 minutes to go, he loses another one to his right.
Can the Aggies of Utah State take advantage? Lawan Hunt. Stopped there by McQuaker. Tonight's red zone being brought to you by Verizon. Hunt again. Rambles through traffic, breaks a tackle. That spot looks pretty good. Inside the 14, a first down for Utah State. First down, Aggies. Hunt, the catch, Lawan Hunt, the move, upended. Dalton Harrington, the tackle, the star Mike linebacker and senior for New Mexico State's a gain of 12.
And now they're going to come up here and probably give it to Hunt on an inside zone.
First and goal, it's Hunt. End zone, touchdown, Utah State. Finally, the Aggies break through.
That was a masterful drive by Jordan Love. He took everything the defense gave to him. He got the team back up to the line of scrimmage when New Mexico State was not lined up and ready to go. And that was a pretty good job inside by Quinn Ficklin and Rob Castaneda as well on that right side.
The 11th rushing touchdown of the year for Lawan Hunt. Everly tacks on the PAT, and the short punt from Feisler, only 13 yards chase, set up Lawan Hunt.
Well, he lost it again, and he knew right away he had lost it. But then Hunt just had running behind an offensive line with Brooksby getting in the game, and he's dancing.
This team, let's take a look back, Chav, at our Crest Insurance keys to the game.
Well, special attention, Utah State, they had to fail punt fake because of the great play by Shane Jackson. They also gave up a kick return touchdown, though. On the other side, the two-dimensional in terms of them, they've run the ball better than they expected. They've really surpassed most of your expectations. The pass game has let them down, and then Utah State stay ahead in the red zone. They haven't been able to do it. In fact, don't forget about the great play by Hanks to stop a potential touchdown. Single high disguise has worked. They frustrated Rodgers into 2 interceptions, and Davis has been everywhere defending down the field.
Everly trying to keep it away from Huntley, who had that touchdown return on the first half. Directional kick is short, taken at about the 34-yard line. Xander Yarborough actually called for a fair catch. Did a great job with that. Back down to Melanie.
Well, Dave, center Quinn Ficklin has been so hyped up on the sideline, saying to his guys, we're in this up front. And then Matt Wells came over to the offensive line. He said, hey, when we were in the bowl games in 2012 and 2013, the offensive line, the tight ends, and the running backs took the game over. Let's go.
Well, they're trying to do that right now. You saw how pumped Matt Wells was after that touchdown run from Hunt a moment ago. Intense, I thought, in our meeting yesterday. Really wants to win. Rodgers, the bobble on the snap, gathers, catch, and a big hit. Jonathan Boone just got drilled. Down Levitt comes up, and some smack talking afterwards between those two.
Well, he's a player who loves to hit. You saw the hit he had against Josh Allen from Wyoming, the NFL prospect. Who can forget that hit?
Second down. Huntley, ball exchange issue there. Tongiai makes the tackle. It's a loss of 2. Wow. There was some contact. It was Woodward 2 and Levitt. And Boone is talking right away. That didn't hurt. Were you a big talker? After a hit like that?
It depends on who we were playing.
Oh, I see. You got to scout the guy you might be trash talking to.
Well, I want to just find out where his parents are from.
Here's third down. Rodgers backpedaling. Throws sideline incomplete. Looking for Scott.
What a job by these corners. And this time it's Deontay Fortenberry, and they're taking turns, Dave. Let me get the Senior Bowl invite. And now Fortenberry turns his hand around. He nearly picks it. So you've had Ingram go over here against Scott. You've had a little bit of Jalen Davis on him, but mainly it's been Ingram and Fortenberry, and give them credit. Frank Maile and Kendrick Shaver have not changed their scheme, and they said, you know what, we're going to let our young secondary, and they call him Coach Juice, Julius Brown, the secondary coach, we're going to let y'all go out and cover Scott.
Low kick this time, much better from Theisler after the 13-yard punt a moment ago. Nathan takes it on a hop in traffic. Dangerous play, Jordan Nathan. And he grabs it, and he's down at the 20. 40-yard punt, 1-yard return. Sometimes got to take a chance. He did that. Covered well by New Mexico State.
Own by Go RVing. Find your way. Go RVing. By the General Insurance. Get a free anonymous online quote now. And by Stouffer's Fit Kitchen Bowls. This is Fit.
Pima County, Arizona, Tucson, home University of Arizona. What a beautiful setting for our game tonight. We really enjoyed downtown restaurants, close to the hotel. Been really fun. QB comparison tonight. Tyler Rogers has really struggled. You like the game Love has played?
I think Jordan Love has done everything, stayed within himself, and David Yost, you have to give him credit for how he's managed the play calls. On the other side, Tyler Rogers, 9 of the last 10 drives for New Mexico State have lasted only 3 plays.
On first down, Hunt breaks a tackle. Lawan Hunt off to the races with the burst. Now a foot race. Hunt inside the 25-yard line.
Well, they're going to pull around with the guy I've been talking about in the open, Castaneda. He runs off of that block, and then LaForce, he's trying his best to run him down, and it's an excellent effort by Hunt, starting to get going for the Aggies.
58-yard pickup. Love, some pressure. Delivers, Tarver, end zone incomplete. Coverage there from Shamad Lomax. Game breaker, and Hunt joins Rose at third, 100-plus yards.
I think Lomax has competed well tonight. Now, we saw the one catch down the sidelines. That was just an excellent effort by Tarver. But this kid, Lomax, 4 forced fumbles this year, 3 fumble recoveries, 4 interceptions. He's had a tremendous year, and he's competed well in this game. They need him to step up now, late.
Bright featured back. Next to Love on this play. 2nd and 10. Love. Arm strength. Flag flies. On the ball intended for Braylon Roberts. And DeMarcus Owens on coverage. Let's see if we have pass interference.
Well, that was probably a holding that looked like maybe Dave.
Right. Not the secondary. Burnett, referee tonight, will make the call.
It looks like a personal foul.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Offense number 7. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Rob Castaneda, junior from Round Rock, Texas. That is a really tough call for the Aggies from Logan. And backs him up.
Yeah, but Miles Vane did cause it. You're going to see it right in that area. You see the hands to the face right there. And Castaneda, we were just giving him some props, pulling around. That time in pass protection, that cost him. And this is exactly what New Mexico State, they feast on long yardage situations.
Here come the Cowbells. Huge crowd. 10,000 plus. Made a 4-hour drive from Las Cruces. Making some noise here. 2nd and 25. Bright, some room. Gerald Bright fakes the cutback. Nailed there by Jaden Bright.
I think you have to ask yourself, if you're Frank Spaziani, do we go ahead and pressure them to take them out of field goal range? I think that's the key, because remember, if they kick a field goal, Dave, they're up by, they make it a 2-score game. It looks like they're going to play coverage and not bring pressure in this situation, which surprises me a bit, because that's their personality, to bring pressure. I guess because it's 3rd and 20, they're going to give up the field goal.
1 for 13 tonight for USU third down conversions. That's amazing. And they have the lead. On third and long, Lawan Hunt runs into Lopez. Lopez.
Well, now you got
smackdown, loss of one.
Now you got to ask yourself, Dave, the confidence of your field goal kicker. You're talking about one of the best kickers in the country in Eberle, and now we're going to try again another long yardage field goal. This is about 48 yards. He missed from 49 earlier. This is right on the cusp of his range. Can he rebound for the Aggies here in the fourth?
From 48. And that's no good. Wide left again.
Wow.
He's missed 3 wide left tonight and is now 2 for 5 for Matt Wells. An All-American type regular season, a bowl nightmare for Eberle. Corey Crawler earlier tonight, all 3 misses have gone wide left. What's happening there? We're going to break this down some more. It's a big factor. Hole looks good. Wide again.
Well, he has a tendency to really hook a lot of his kicks going this way. Now, if you're in the 30-yard range, that's fine, but the longer it gets and you go out this way, it begins to drift further on him. And so you can see it would have been good from about maybe in that 40-yard range, but the longer it has to travel, and that's natural for him even when he's making the field goals. Like you saw that against Wyoming, he naturally has he overcompensates on that for that angle from the right edge. And even when he kicks from the middle of the field, we saw it earlier from the left edge, he has a right to left drift.
Chatting there with special teams coordinator Mike Tomerdal, and you saw a career worst 3 misses in this game. Rose the third. Trying to shake tacklers. Christy Jansen with some contacts. It's a gain of 1. Still a 1-score game. I mean, really, if you take away the unbelievable play on defense that Hanks made, the 3 missed field goals, Utah State's laughing and thinking about this win.
And it changes how you coach, because that's in the back of your mind, those 3 misses the rest of the game.
2nd and 9. Tough night for Rogers, trying to change that here. Passing in traffic. Down Levitt, nearly had a pick. O.J. Clark intended receiver. Levitt got physical and dislodged the football.
And that's one of the questions I had about Clark was could he catch through contact? And you saw that against New Mexico, a similar play, and Levitt, who's really seeing it tonight. And I mean by that is he's trusting his eyes and breaking downhill, and he's been very active in both the run and pass game.
These Aggies need it. 3rd down. Rogers fires. There's Scott. Jaleel Scott climbs the ladder and makes the catch in front of Ingram. Finally, he is down and shaken up. Melanie told us about the ankle earlier tonight. It's a gain of 19, only his 2nd catch of the game, and he hobbles off for the Aggies.
Well, it was a good release inside. He's going against Ingram. A good close by Ingram and that catch radius. Rogers stood in there and made an excellent throw.
Holds that right ankle. New Mexico State finally doesn't have to punt. Rogers, evasive, throws on the move. Rose the third, lunging, makes a great catch.
And that was the instincts of Rogers beginning to show up on this drive. The moxie, being able to buy himself some time. He's got good feet in the pocket. It's a reason why he's been so successful in school.
Gain of 14. Rogers keeps this time. David Woodward first to get to him. Christy Jansen cleaned him up. And now the confidence. New Mexico State able to convert finally on a 3rd down. Scott got involved. Now they're rolling.
Here's that 3rd down throw. That excellent throw under pressure.
Live action. Christy Jansen comes together again with Rose the third, who adds to his total. 1st down for the Aggies from Las Cruces. Gain of 5.
And this offensive line, let's give these guys Candelaria, McLean, Smith, Jameis Smith, Trujillo, and also Dox Tatter. They're beginning to make their presence being felt. All of these guys over 300 pounds.
Timeout. Utah State. 8:22.
Timeout. Utah State, they're first.
Might have a couple seconds restored to the clock.
And I tell you, Dave, like the way that they ended the season and how they had to get to a bowl game. The final drive, 30 seconds to go, Rodgers, he wasn't having the best game against South Alabama.
Full timeout.
But you understand, they have a leader who can bring them back from behind.
Let's go back to the Melanie on Jaleel Scott.
Well, Dave, you saw Jaleel Scott roll that right ankle once again. He's been in a ton of pain. He was on the training table with his face in his hands, but they inspected it for a bit, and then he gave a thumbs up and walked back over to the huddle. So it looks like he's going to continue to play.
Tough guy. They certainly need him. And look at the fans. We talked about the long wait. I mean, a lot of these Aggie fans from Las Cruces in their entire lifetime have never seen their favorite team playing a bowl game. They've really turned out. Great crowd here tonight in Tucson. And they are into it now.
And they've got a chance. And they believe, like we just talked about, with Rodgers, Scott's coming back in the game. You understand that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these seniors. They understand it, and they're going after it.
Off the timeout. Use the motion man. Rodgers evades the heat. Near that line of scrimmage. And throws downfield. Ball for grabs. We're waiting for a call.
Well, Bailey didn't catch it. He certainly had a chance.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. Gage Ferguson thought maybe Utah State had it. Let's see what happened there. Bailey the coverage. The ball thrown for Jonathan Boone. It's up in the air. Tomai Vena, leading tackler, went for the pick. Ruled incomplete.
You got to go ahead and snap it now to Rodgers.
Avoid a review possibly. All right, no replay now. Catch there from Greg Hogan. Tomai Vena, what do you think, Chave? Did he have it?
Well, I think that was worth another look at least. I mean, it was an excellent effort. No, I think it hit the ground. That was a good job by our crew of getting the shot to kind of confirm that it hit the ground. And now if you're Rodgers, it's third down again. And you've got to be able to find, you got Scott who's back in the game. Melanie talked about that. He just came back in the game. They're going to call a timeout, it looks like.
Timeout. New Mexico State. Their first full timeout.
.732 to go in the fourth, and now 2 timeouts left for each team.
The one thing that Rodgers is very comfortable doing, he's very good throwing the ball outside in terms of it to his number 2 receivers, his slot receivers. And he's had a lot of success on third down throwing to those guys throughout the season. But because you've got the injury to Scott, you wonder where they will align him at on this next rep. Will they align him like they normally do to the one receiver side and have one of the running backs in the really just accompany him? And will they go to an empty formation?
If you're thinking field goal, about a 42-yard attempt potentially. If they can't convert for Gillum Brown, he's 2 for 2 so far. Made it from 23 and from 33 for New Mexico State. Plenty of time, 1-score game.
Well, it looks like, Dave, for what we just talked about, they're going to do what we talked about and line Scott up here at the top, and they're going to go into that empty formation, and they've got Rose to third to that side with him.
Play the game so far here, Jay. On third down. Rose to third. Looks for the edge. Not going to find it. Great pursuit. Tomai Vena. Now standing inside linebacker for Utah State on the tackle. Top 5 in the Mountain West in total tackles this year for Suli Tomai Vena. 4th down. Gonna go. Big play.
I think they were just trying to pick up some of it here. They had it in their minds to just pick up half of it.
Here we go. Rodgers steps away from the heat. Tyler Rodgers throws on the move. Boone has a catch. Jonathan Boone, first down, New Mexico State.
What a throw by your senior. Rolling to his left, and look at this catch.
Wow. What a catch. Gain of 10. First down. Scott, they go for him. End zone. The battle. Didn't bring it in. The back shoulder fade attempt to Khalil Scott.
So it looked like that left foot may have come down. This is pretty good placement by Rogers. Watch this left foot. Let's see if he has control. The left foot comes down.
Oh, wait a minute, but the right foot's out of bounds.
Yeah,
now,
but when he finally got control of it, that left foot had already been down. This is another look at it from this angle. Right here, let's see that left foot. Is it still down?
All right, no review.
Yeah, well,
now we're going to have one. Last second, they buzz from the booth.
Yeah.
And we'll have
the previous play of the incomplete pass is under review.
Well, you know we couldn't get through a game without having to determine whether there was going to be a catch, right? And here we go again. And Matt Wells is like, are you kidding me? Right there, he doesn't have it, but there, right here, at that point, is that left foot down? I think it is,
He's
Dave.
got possession, then the right foot is down out of bounds.
Yeah, but the left foot had already been down.
Did he have control of the left foot down? I think he did, Corey. This could be a touchdown for New Mexico State, head-to-head with Bailey on coverage.
I think the first look that we had at it.
He's got control.
All right, right here.
The foot's down. Control. Oh, that is close, but the angle's tough. That's a tough angle to look at.
Is it enough to overturn the call on the field? And I think, again, this is the best angle. Watch when he has control of the ball right here. Is the foot down? What do you say, Dave? Is it down right there? It looks like it was off the ground.
Wow, is that close?
And that's going to make it tough to overturn.
That is the best angle to look at.
Yeah, that is. But, I mean, it looked like at the point where he finally got possession, the foot was slightly off the ground.
And in that case, it's no catch because the right foot's out of bounds. This is an absolutely enormous review.
It's just a matter of when they determine he's gotten control of the ball, because the left foot at some point, they're trying to put these different angles together to make a judgment. And it's a huge call.
Called incomplete on the field. And the replay crew will take a very close look.
Okay.
Left foot is down. He has got control. The right foot is not down yet.
Is that left foot down right here?
It's down to me. Okay. I'm seeing contact with the end zone, aren't you?
Well, yeah, when you played in slow motion earlier, I looked at that moment that it may have been off the ground, but our original statement felt like the foot was down. Remember, the call on the field was not a catch.
Rodney Burnett awaits word from the replay booth.
They're showing the circle that we did up there.
After review, the receiver's left foot was in the end zone with possession of the ball. Touchdown.
New Mexico State has a touchdown. 11 yards out, Rogers to Scott. And a PAT away from tying this one up in Tucson. Wow. Dylan Brown does just that. 20-20 game.
It's all about finding the man that you need to go to with the season on the line. It's Jaleel Scott, and he's got the right stuff.
General play of the game, Corey.
Oh, this fourth down was amazing. And Rogers with the season, we talked about the season being on the line twice because he knew where to go. He found his matchups. We talked about maybe who he would go to in some of those situations. Scott inevitably had to be the guy. He got them here this year. And when they needed it most, even with the ankle injury, Jaleel Scott comes through.
9th touchdown catch of the year for Scott. Rogers' 69th career touchdown pass. He's second all-time in Mexico State history. Behind tight ends coach Chase Holbrook's record of 85. Number 1 all-time Aggie history. Parker Davidson kicks off. Through the end zone, it'll be a touchback. Utah State will get it up to 25 in a tie game.
And they're happy that he came from Rock Hill, South Carolina, Scott. Jadeveon Clowney,
Got to get your Palmetto State mentions in when you can. I understand.
Well, they're all NFL players, right? First rounders. He's got a chance.
That dog is from New Mexico State. And after kickoffs, he grabs a tee. We saw him yesterday practicing, working out. Love that guy.
And only you could outrun.
Well trained.
Only you could outrun.
That's fun. Raymond has a catch. Terrell Hanks grabs a hold of Dax Raymond, makes the play, 2-yard gain. And the game again on a reset for Matt Wells and his Aggies. 2 timeouts for each team here in the 4th. Hunt gets physical and athletic and lunges ahead. That spot looks right on. Maybe a hair shy of the first down. 3rd and short. It's Hunt. It's first down. Chains on the move.
And we talked about them going to the run game, Dave. And ever since they have, I think they've gotten more balance in their attack. And it's opened things up for Love. And they've got good distribution offensively.
Hunt up to 121 rushing yards in the game tonight on 15 carries and a touchdown. He's averaged 8.1 yards a carry for Utah State.
And most of that's been in the second half.
Right. And flip the script on the run game struggles. 2nd down. Hunt again. Dalton Harrington first to get to him.
And they've got some size advantages up front. You know, Stody Bradley's only about 245 pounds. You got Lloyd down inside, but not a lot more.
3rd down and 5 from the 40. And the cowbells are ringing from Las Cruces.
Do they put it in the freshman's hands with the game on the line?
Here's Love. Time. Now flushed. Throws on the move. In traffic. Incomplete. Carson Terrell, intended receiver. The breakup, Ron LaForce. Aggressive play for LaForce for the Aggies of Las Cruces.
And that's Dalton Harrington with the pressure. LaForce, who's been a factor all year. He has 3 interceptions, over 100 tackles. And you can see why he has now 5 pass breakups on the season.
Dalton back into punt. Rose at 3rd. Fair caught at the 22. And New Mexico State gets it right back in a tie game. They've got all the momentum right now, Corey.
They do. And think about some of the players that Doug Martin mentioned that he coached. David Gerard, who was the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Joshua Cribbs, one of the best kickoff returners in NFL history, coached him at Kent State, completed 64% of his passes at Kent State. Julian Edelman, the quarterback for him at Kent State, but he's never had a quarterback like this, Tyler Rogers, in terms of the prolific pass numbers, and now he has a chance to win a bowl game for Doug Martin.
Doug Martin told us this week, we can throw the ball with anyone in the nation. Here they are, through the air, trying to win it. Throwing the catch. Evasive. Don Levitt makes the tackle for Utah State. Jonathan Boone had that huge conversion on 4th down, the TD drive for the Aggies. Gain of 11, first down.
They had the 32 pass attempts, but they didn't have a 10-yard completion. 4 of the last 6 passes completed have been 10-plus yards for Rogers. He's getting hot.
On first down. Boone can't bring this one in. That's incomplete with Woodward on coverage. Is that a big game tonight for Utah State?
It's a good job by Woodward. And Utah State, as much as we've talked about New Mexico State, has been able to get after the passer this year. Utah State only 23 sacks coming into the game. Who is going to get after the passer on this drive? Maybe it's Devin Anderson.
Whistles.
That's Anderson right there. he's getting ready to come on off the ball.
Flag down.
Timeout, New Mexico State. Their second, 32nd.
No flag. Timeout first. Ball by the Aggies from Las Cruces. One remaining in the second half now for them.
And that's really the only thing I think this Utah State defense lacks. They're a team that is outstanding against the pass, and you wonder why Rogers has struggled tonight. Well, coming into the game, they were 19th in the country against the pass. And basically, you only complete about 56% of your passes against this Utah State defense, but they don't really, Dave, get after the quarterback, and they need to on this final drive, potentially.
14.2 points a game given up in their 6 wins. 27 total points in the second half of those 6 wins before tonight. They have really put the clamps down. Led by the All-American Jalen Davis when it matters most, which it does right now. Rogers second down. Screen outlet. Rose at third. Has the catch. Spins into several Utah State tacklers. It's a gain of 4. Another huge third down. Coming up here for Tyler Rogers, the senior from Peoria, Arizona, in his last game as an Aggie.
And they're bringing in a lot of their speed personnel, kind of their dime package. You've got Rockamore coming in the game and some other personnel. Will you disguise? Looks like Jalen Davis is up in a position possibly where he'll blitz. And you also have Christiansen up there with him. Will they bring the pressure?
Big third down. Here comes the heat. Rogers gets that one away to Boone. And complete with Levitt right there to try to dislodge if necessary. And the pocket collapsed quickly.
Look, they're coming with it. You've got Tamavena coming off the edge. He gets a hit. Davis comes inside. You had on the other side at an Oye bringing some heat. So third down, you got to be ready for it too. Kendrick Shaver, Frank Miley, they will bring the heat. They've done it all night. And they get the Aggies off the field.
10th punt of the game for Theisler. Needs a good one and gets it. Deep kick, Nathan. Gets around Terrell Hanks. Lottie involved in the first contact on special teams for New Mexico State. And things are a little chippy after the play.
I want to give the long snapper, Tim O'Donnell, some credit. He got down. Normally the long snapper is not blocked. So they're saying you better make the long snapper miss if you're a punt returner. And he made him miss, but O'Donnell slowed him down for Hood. There's O'Donnell. Tell you what, man, he looks the part.
He sure does. He's junior from Queensland, Australia. Usually the Australian guys are the kickers, right? The rugby style, but he's a long snapper and a tough dude, to be sure. First down. Bright the carry. Gerald Bright. Lots of contact again from Dalton Harrington, the star senior. Final game at New Mexico State.
It's fun watching him run around. You know, you talk about a lot of times sideline to sideline. He's definitely that.
2nd and 4. Gerald Bright looks for him up the middle. Keeps the legs turning. That spot at the 26 is going to be shy. 2 more yards for Gerald Bright, sophomore from Pensacola, Florida. Third down again in a game full of enormous third down conversion attempts. Here's another one. 1 of 15 of the game for Utah State on third down tries. And 0 for their last 12. And it's still a tie game. That's extraordinary. Love calls his own number on third down. And all depends on the spot, which looks like it's shy. Harrington, the first contact. Pinballs Jordan Love around. It's going to be short. Punt time again for Utah State. And the Aggies from Logan 1 for 16 on third down tries and 13 straight whiffs.
With everything on the line, we've talked about Dalton as a punter. Do you punt it to the school's second all-time leading rusher?
Rose the third. Fair caught at the 24. 49-yard punt. The night so far, Jay, for Tyler Rogers.
Well, it's gotten better, and a lot of it has been just standing in there and dealing with what has been a tumultuous night in terms of pressure. Now rolling to your left, showing the athleticism. Here, you're finding the one-on-one matchup, and we're going to see, Bailey, if you can cover my best receiver, Jaleel Scott. And it's a similar situation to the South Alabama game. They were down in that game. He takes them down the field. The numbers don't look great. He's made some mistakes tonight, but he's shown a lot of mettle in this second half.
First down. Pump fake. Rogers throws. Huntley the catch. Knocked out of bounds. Huntley on the kickoff return for a touchdown in the first quarter. Gain of 9 on the pass from Rogers. Trying to get in range. Kicker Dylan Brown. Second down. Huntley the carry. Anderson makes the play for Utah State, but it is a first down for New Mexico State. Gain of 4 for Jason Huntley.
Well, you got to remember, Brown's longest field goal this year is 39 yards. So you've got to get way down deep if you're going to be able to get in his range, because you're talking about a 25-yard line you've got to get to at least.
He's made his last 5 over 2 games. On first down, Greg Hogan in the vicinity on that throwaway from Tyler Rogers. 2 for 2 tonight. Twice this year, as Jay talked about, that career long at 39. Doug Martin in our chat with him this week, the New Mexico State head coach, did not seem overly confident trying to win the game with Brown. Very solid kicker, but the range, reliability, he's not sure. We're going to find out. Possibly coming up here in the next few moments. On second down, Muse has a catch. He's knocked down right away.
And one of the things that Utah State is doing is they're splitting the middle of the field, so there are some openings in the middle of the field. Rogers a little gunshot. That's where he threw the interception of Woodward. You just saw a shot of him. But if you're going to get something, let's see if they go to, that's one of the things we talked about, their disguise element here. Gage Ferguson and Dallin Levitt, how they disguise will determine where Rogers goes on this play. It looks like they may be playing some man coverage.
In no hurry at all here with 1 timeout. Rogers throws over the middle. Scott lunging the dive. It's incomplete. Jalen Davis on coverage for Utah State in Aggie territory.
Well, they were playing man coverage, but they got a safety over the top, so he plays underneath. And look at that break by Davis. I mean, he's right in the hip pocket. It was a good effort, and really, to be honest, Scott could have possibly come up with that catch. Yeah. So that was the matchup that everybody wanted to see. Jalen Davis versus Jaleel Scott. Davis comes up with another win. He hasn't lost many battles tonight.
Freisler back out there. 11th punt of the night. And a beauty. Nathan grabs it inside the 15. Jordan Nathan looks for the edge and doesn't get there. Ferguson on coverage. Backup linebacker for the Aggies, 47-yard punt. All right, 23 seconds, Jay, and 2 timeouts. What do you think for Utah State?
Well, I think you just go ahead and get ready for overtime. And so that means run the ball down at whatever you want to do. But Now, you've got a kicker who's missed 3 field goals tonight, but he's certainly one of the best. You don't want to put him in a situation to lose further confidence. You take a couple of shots, maybe, but again, if you're going to take some shots, I would think Scarver would be in the game. He's not out there.
First down, run play. Lawan Hunt. It's outside the 20. Miles Veen, the tackle. Final seconds of regulation are about to melt away here. And we're going to have overtime for Tucson.
We've had a couple of these this year, right? You can't get rid of it yet.
Because I love working with you. I want this to end.
I love it too, man. We've had a great one. It's been unbelievable. What a game.
2020 after regulation, the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl on CBS Sports Network. Extra football comes your way. 4 quarters not enough. What's next? OT.
You know,
25-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, you definitely want to defer, right? You want to find out what you have to do and make that other team go first if you win the toss. The third overtime, you have to go for 2 points, and that's when it gets real interesting. We're lucky if we get to third overtime, and Doug Martin, he's 500 in these overtime games. Wells is still looking for that first overtime win.
Looking through the scores here, Champ. I think it's the first bowl game that's gone to overtime so far this year. Lawan Hunt had a touchdown run. Finally, Utah State had a lead, but Jaleel Scott on a reviewed play, head-to-head with Bailey, is able to bring it in for a touchdown. And Jalen Davis, it's all smiles right now. He's having a good time.
Well, he's having a good night. I mean, when you're having the kind of night he is, you'd be smiling too, right?
Final game is Nagy for Jalen Davis, All-American defensive back. Next stop for him with the NFL.
I like that sign right there.
Oh, come on. They've waited so long.
Just
Why not some extra football for the fans from Las Cruces?
And they deserve it. They're a good fan base. I've had a chance to go out there and cover some of their other players way back in 2010. Devon House, who's still in the NFL now. A lot of good players have come through in the Mexico State program, regardless of the fact that they haven't gone to a bowl game.
Yeah, I love to see that. Harrington and Davis, 2 big stars in the game. Great sportsmanship, the handshake.
All right, man. We're going to overtime. Each team has 1 timeout. The winner of the toss must choose offense, defense, or which end of the field we're going to play. New Mexico State will call the coin.
Tails.
Heard it? It is a tail. Which end of the field? Stay right there. Utah State, first down.
New Mexico State wins a toss as expected at first, so Matt Wells and the Utah State offense first from the 25. 12th all-time game, Utah State history going overtime. That includes a 3-point win over New Mexico State back in 1998. And they do it again here tonight.
And Utah State's red zone numbers this season, they're coming up on it. They've been good, right? They're in the top 91% coming into the game, but too many field goals. You don't want to settle for that field goal now, Dave. Now you want to get the 6 points, make it a 7-point game, and force them to come back and score. Settling for a field goal here, which has been a tendency for them, would not necessarily be a success.
I'm not sure if Matt Wells even does it, Chavy's kicker Everly's missed 3 tonight. Interesting. When you're in overtime, if you try to go for it, we're going to find out. First down for the Aggies from Logan. Love starts overtime with a deep ball. End zone tip. Great play. Owens. And incomplete of the ball intended for Brilliant Roberts.
Wow. He lost one of these against South Alabama. He says, I'm not losing this one. I'm going to go up and make sure you're not getting this ball. And Braylon Roberts, he's known for the high wire acts outside.
Hunt the feature back. He's run for 130 tonight and a touchdown for Utah State. Second down. Carries here. Lawan Hunt hit hard. Cedric Wilcox the second involved in the heavy contact along with DeMarcus Owens. The Aggie corner from New Mexico State, gain of 3, 3rd and 7.
Do you bring pressure here if you're New Mexico State? Seems like they're kind of hanging back with Harrington and also Demby, and they're going to play some coverage. These are the guys to watch right there. Will they come?
3rd down. Here comes the pressure. Love delivers. Roberts has the catch. Jamon Lomax the tackle on Braylon Roberts. It is a 1st down.
Oh, it was a late. They didn't time that blitz up right. Harrington timed it up a little bit late. Love stands in and makes the perfect throw. Love stands in versus the Heat.
Here's Hunt. Stopped by Malik Denby, defensive end of Mexico State. What a conversion and throw from Love. And you're right, Corey said tonight, Matt Wells made that call about 2/3 away through the season to bench Myers, go with Love because of throws like that. Big arm. Second and goal.
And they're moving these guys around. David Yost, the offensive coordinator, just to find out whether or not you're playing zone or man coverage. And he's getting his answers for Love. It's a good strategy.
Here's Love. Pump fake. Love spins and gets hit. Terrell Hanks put him down. Went for the fake. Hoping for the end zone. Hanks did not bite.
And that was that spin move you were talking about against
Air Force.
Yeah, it looked good in that game.
Got him a 1st down, didn't it?
You can't get away from Hanks with it, and now you got to wonder, does he look for Tarver in this situation? Tarver's been his big play guy all night, and so they're going to move Vaughn away so they can see whether or not, and you can see them communicating back here in terms of how they're going to cover Tarver up at the top.
3rd and goal. Love with pressure. End zone. Incomplete. Looking there for Aaron Vaughns. And broken up by Jaden Wright. And here comes Everly, who has missed thrice tonight.
And I wouldn't want to be in this situation. Because again, we've talked about that drift from right to left. Well, now you're on the left hash, Dave. So you've got to try to find a way to prevent that drift, and you've got to make it go left to right instead of right to left. Tough angle for Everly.
No good. He's missed for a 4th time tonight. I can't believe it. The all-Mountain West kicker, Dominic Everly, has missed 4 field goals, and now a field goal can win it for New Mexico State.
Well, again, you're trying to overcompensate because you had that natural drift and you're on the left hash. And so you want to prevent that this time. You don't want to hook it. And then he tries to guide it a little too much. I don't think he really got all the way through his short leg. You didn't really see much of a plant leg or with his plant foot. And so now you give Rogers an opportunity.
Hit the right upright. And no good. You just got to feel so badly for Everly tonight. Tough game for the young man from Germany.
Well, we mentioned it.
Timeout, New Mexico State. They're first.
Before that possession, we talked about it. You know, do you want to be in a situation? I don't want to be in a situation where I got to go for a field goal. You talked about the struggles he had, and to miss that field goal, you have to think about the next overtime period. Let's say you stop them here. What is his mindset like moving forward?
Been a tough night.
You know, that was the first one wide left, right?
Nuremberg, Germany. Yep, with a high school in San Diego. 3 wide left. We talked about the right hash and the way that he hooks the ball. And then this one, over compensation, the left hash. It's off the upright. Mark Tommerdahl, special teams coordinator for Utah State. Rogers on first down. Woodward, tackle for Utah State. Gets about 4 yards on the first down run.
Now you do feel for the young man, but this is where the defense has to step up and get his back. And they've been great all night on third down. They've got to try to get New Mexico State back into third down.
Rose a third. Has room. Larry Rose a third. End zone touchdown, New Mexico State. And the Aggies win the Arizona Bowl in overtime. After a 57-year wait, the Aggies bowling again and winning again over Utah State. Incredible. Senior from Fairfield, Texas, in his final game as a New Mexico State Aggie. Chave got free. Woodward couldn't tackle him.
Watch Sage Dockstader, number 76, 343 pounds. The vegetarian, Dave, he's eating a full plate, opens it up for Rose the third, and boy, what a way to end what has been a trying career, to say the least. A lot of individual success, and now his touchdown has fans jumping over the fence.
Look at this celebration for Aggie fans. 38th career touchdown run for Larry Rose III. That ties the all-time school record held by James Pilot in the 1960s, which was, of course, the last time the Aggies of Las Cruces made a bowl game. 16 carries, 142 yards, and the game-winning touchdown for Rose III, and a night that Everly, unfortunately for that young man, well, you feel badly. He'll never forget. Tough, tough night for Dominic Everly. It's like they won the national championship, Chief. This is incredible.
For anybody that says, what about that bowl? What's that bowl? What's that bowl? Guess what? It's this bowl for these kids, and they feel great. And just look at the jubilance from this school.
A program that endured 2 17-game losing streaks in the last 6 years. They are bowl champions tonight in Tucson, Arizona. For Corey Chavis, Melanie Collins, the entire crew, I'm Dave Ryan saying so long. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We'll be back in Tucson shortly, but now we'll take you back to New York. Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Christian Fauria, and Randy Cross are standing by. Guys, this is an incredible finish. Talk to you in a minute.